PayPal funds and be like, I'm giving it to a friend. Otherwise, there are PayPal fees. So we do not. I will be refunding anything that's less than $1. I did that a couple of
times today.
Yeah, recently. I've done that a couple of times recently. So any donation needs to be a minimum of $1.
Okay, good.
Or you can donate up to $5,000.
Yeah, exactly. So welcome to America's Third Party, everyone. This is Conspiracy Monday.
So you started it.
I'm starting it.
Click links.
Links, okay.
And then do the YouTube page.
Okay. We go to the YouTube page, then we open it up over here.
Like a new tab, yeah.
Yep. Take a look at that. See what it looks like. We're testing it out as we do it, so we don't have any titling on the page, so we know which way we have it, mirrored image or not.
Not first one.
Let's take a
look.
Will
be
it has to.
Anything. Like okay.
Okay. Right. Conspiracy USA is the name of this show. Yeah, so I have to switch it.
Donation needs to be a minimum of $1. Yeah, I would say you need to switch it.
Okay, so that means my gaming show was a terrible gaming show. I played Battlefield, by the way.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was disastrous for me. Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
So it's normal here, reverse there, normal there.
Okay, normal, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. I'm going to open up one more new.
So you can close out of that YouTube.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm going to open up one more new page and put it over there in front of us, so we have a new window to actually look at the chat and Vaughn chat. Yeah, I got it right here. Pop-up chat. There you go.
Now, I've also been doing JustCast recently.
Cool.
Would you like to do that?
Well, if you want, we can follow JustCast. Guest chat on. Okay.
I'm 36. I'll be 37 in February.
Yes. And I'll be 55 in April.
Keep the guest behind the gated fence.
Let's see. Guest on.
Oh no, Sunstar, he's letting down the fence.
Little echo, sir. Okay, I'll turn down any other.
Sorry, there was echo, but that was just because we were checking our YouTube. There should be no echo now. If there continues to be echo, please let us know.
Robert 492 says, David, there is a virus worse than Ebola. It's called liberalism. It can wipe out a complete nation.
It must be stopped.
You know, I was a Democrat for 30 years, as you well know, Robert, and I couldn't believe how they forgot what freedom of speech was, right to bear arms, right to privacy. It's as if they've forgotten everything that really matters for America. And I listened to constitutionalists on the far right, and I didn't really side with them on social issues. I'm not a social conservative, but I sure sided with them on fiscal conservancy and how we need to cut back on waste, government waste. Monday is Conspiracy Monday. We've got things that we like to talk about on Monday that are out there. Not just necessarily aliens existing here on Earth and not even knowing about it, but we can talk about how there may be a secret group of people embedded within the center of the Bilderberg group that are running the show, so to speak, starting wars. They create and they destroy nations. They can do it with the power of money. And money itself seems to have invaded the political process, preventing the political process from working.
I forgot my password. I always forget it.
Hey there, bad kitty. NSA has the ability to watch everything we do. The Treasury and the Federal Reserve can print up money out of thin air to do anything they want to do. So I ask you, why would they not buy all of the social networks? You know, it's a Murphy's Law, really. It's, or Occam's razor. It's any number of things you can look at it from. But the fact is, money corrupts, and it has the ability to control what we use innocently, thinking we're writing down things privately on the internet. No, nothing's private anymore, unless you get assurances from some cryptographer who's mastered the art of cover-up. And people who have created, like Aaron Swartz created the Reddit network. He also created a Lockbox, a Strongbox, a program that was in its infancy when he was killed. And Strongbox was designed to keep all of your files, especially for journalists, completely hidden from the NSA. Aaron Swartz died a very strange death, suicide at a young age. And his wife or fiance said that he wasn't even going to, he wasn't in a bad mood. He was looking forward to the lawsuit against MIT. The Justice Department, we're going to pursue him on all kinds of charges of copyright infringement. And MIT actually said they didn't want to pursue the case, but the Justice Department said, no, we want to pursue this against Aaron, period. So it's a very interesting case where Aaron actually committed suicide, but had his fingertips on the secret to your privacy, and now he's dead. Out there stuff, right? Stuff that's out there. Like, how could the country not be run by global elitists the way it's set up, where money buys lobbyists, money buys favor. You can even rig the Diebold voting system if you've got enough money. That's what I hear. So it seems that at the very heart of this nation, there's this huge obstacle, the power of money. Well, we have a studio in the other room, but we have to hook up our Ethernet directly to it. You know, I heard about Ebola spreading around the world. I guess we'll call tomorrow. I'll call. Hello, Mr. Discount. Hello there, Mr. Ed. How you doing? Ebola is in Spain now. It's spreading around the world. The CDC says they should not, or we should not, shut down flights from Africa. And they don't give a reason. Every site I've looked at, the CDC has said, oh, that would be the worst thing we could do is cut back on flights from Africa. The most logical thing, blazingly logical thing, is to cut flights from Africa to eliminate the spread of Ebola. It's a no-brainer, but the CDC emphatically says that's the worst thing we can do. Sarah's always sober. Sarah doesn't drink or smoke marijuana or cigarettes. I am a little bit tense over the Ebola thing, to be honest. Thank you, Bad Kitty. That's very nice. Make sure your donations are over $10. Sarah said $1, but it really, I mean, it's pointless to not even send a donation in for it. Thank you. There's nothing wrong with my toupee. I changed my part to show you it's not a toupee. Remember the part was on the other side? Today it's on the other side. Oh,
if you, Bad Kitty, if you don't want me to report your name and address to the FEC, you can make it $49.99.
Right. If you come in under $50 in your donation, Sarah doesn't have to report your name and address to the FEC. So yeah, I'm going to Google Chelsea's father-in-law, Robert. Chelsea's father-in-law, the father of Chelsea's husband, is a connected man. He's a made man in Wall Street, and he's done prison time for tax fraud and running a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, and many people think the Clintons were involved in something. There's a website out there called the Clinton Death Count.
Should we unban all? No.
No, not right now, no.
I think we're good just letting guests chat, so anybody that's banned can come in as a guest. Yes, you're right, Hammer. I do need to proofread my chat before posting. Thank you. Good point. No side cams tonight. I'm not sure exactly how to turn them on, Curtis.
We'll get them on there. The Clinton body count. If you Google this, it'll show you an amazing number of people that have died from mysterious deaths.
I think I purposely turned them off, Curtis.
So, I mean, it's bizarre, but yeah, the Clinton body count actually reveals a very dark road to power for the Hillary and Bill Clinton. You know, Chelsea, it's interesting, Chelsea's husband had a mental breakdown.
You can't guest chat if you're banned. It traces your ID. Darn, then don't get banned.
Family fears that Clinton's husband was cracking up. Now, she just had a baby. This guy, you know, is the father, but a few months back.
There we go.
Wait a second. Is the story dead? Look at this. It's been scrubbed. Look at that.
Wow.
So here's an example of the internet being scrubbed. Remember 2011? Her husband had a mental breakdown.
Maybe it's still in the Daily Mail. Try the next one. Try the next one.
Mark Mazinski. Okay, let's try the next one. Daily Mail might have it. But that was missing. That file was missing. Check this one out. It's interesting how they can scrub the internet. Okay. This was on there. Okay, is Chelsea Clinton husband for friends claim Mark Mazinski needs mental care. Okay, that story completely disappeared in the past 3 years.
I just want to move this over. There we go, Curtis. Now we can see you. Sorry.
Well, there's Curtis. Wow.
Thanks for camming up.
Wow, man, you could play
Nice.
Santa Claus is coming up Christmas.
Maybe he does.
Yeah. So this story is pretty much a non-issue, and no one talks about it. So what happened may have been, and this is a conspiracy theory, that her husband found out about all the shenanigans with the Clintons and just kind of freaked out. And then gradually they convinced him to just kind of mellow out. It's okay, kind of like Joan Rivers said, it's okay that Michelle is a guy. It's okay. Well, those are practically the last things she said. There's no cooking here. We're cooking up some politics. David, how do you think all these government conspiracies are happening when our government isn't even organized enough to keep some guy running from the White House? Well, maybe that's a plan. Core, too. Maybe the guy running right into the White House, testing security was a plan. Maybe
it was a plan to test security.
No, it could be foreshadowing of weak security leading to something bad at the White House.
Hi, Church of the Holy Kitten.
Do you remember when the electric grid was popping off and on, and there was the news story came up that the electric grid had a terrorist act and we didn't even know it?
Oh, it happened in near Silicon Valley. Yes, I do know about that. It happened in, I want to say, I know it was spring. I want to say April, not this last April, but the previous April. 2012, I believe, but you guys can look into that a little bit more deeply.
Foreshadowing by the elitists. That's what I would argue many of these things are. It didn't even appear under the radar when it happened, and all of a sudden they were saying, wow, the electric grid was shut down, and it looked like there could have been a terrorist act. And then NBC ran to the story, ABC ran to the story. Yeah, so they're getting us ready to look at any possible scenario evolving. Davis' name is Edward Mizinski. He was a congressman from Iowa in '73. Okay. And the father was a connected man that I know of in Wall Street. That's what I heard. I believe the father worked for Goldman Sachs, if I'm not mistaken. No, the teeth have not arrived yet.
But I got a little work done.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Has
just enough to make it look better on camera.
Yeah, it does. You had a little better fit with your teeth. That's good. Excellent.
I went to see my periodontist.
I was a little worried that something would happen, but I'm so happy that you saw your periodontist.
And he didn't want to do too much because he's still trying to convince me to get braces.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna get that. Thousands sign a petition.
I have to see an orthodontist first.
But remember, braces, it's like a 2-year commitment.
Yeah, I know, it's like a 2-year, it's like a lifetime commitment, almost. Thanks, Curtis. And nice to see the cat. That looks like a picture of Amber, Church of the Holy Kitten.
Church of the Holy Kitten. Adding a screen region is pretty simple in this show.
Doesn't it look better?
Curtis can come in the show, like right there. There's Curtis over at JustCast. JustCast has a pretty good feed, and not only Curtis, but Meow TV's over there. Hey, there's Curtis. Thank you, Curtis. Right on, man. And then Meow TV has a feed. JustCast might be the alternative to StreamUp because we're not going to necessarily run StreamUp if people just come in and hack it. Let's take a look and see if we have any real calls here.
I know, it's Santa, aka Curtis.
I'm not really sure who that is. Zero Hedge, thousands petition ban flights, Ebola. Thank you. Zero Hedge has a petition, everybody. You can sign it.
I have it over there.
Okay. You can send it. Thank you, Jerka fans. So here we go. A petition to ban flights from Africa. I mean, common sense tells you we need to ban this stuff.
You like StreamUp? I know I don't have StreamUp open. I could open StreamUp, I suppose. I'm using JustCast. I like JustCast.
Yeah, so this is a petition, thousands signed. Whether it's due to the sheer deferred Ebola panic or the administration's bumbled attempt at damage control of the very confused and mostly pointless press conference on Friday afternoon. But 3 days ago, a petition was launched on the White House website demanding that the FAA ban all incoming and outgoing flights to Ebola-stricken countries until the Ebola outbreak is contained. As of this moment, over 4,000 people have signed it.
I'm going to go sign it right now.
Yeah, go for it. Wow, isn't that something?
Okay, you want to open a link for us so we can sign it?
Yeah, I sure do. You go ahead and link on it. We'll sign it right now in real time.
Is it like, does that link? Scroll down. Click the picture.
Picture.
Yay!
That'll work.
It works.
Yeah, so a lot of people are waiting for my new teeth. As you know, I'll be wearing the new teeth into the future every night in the show. So because I don't have decent teeth right now, they're okay. They're great for eating. They're very sharp.
I'm going to promote
Razor
it too.
sharp.
Add my name. I'm going to add my name.
Cool. Sarah Hart. Razor sharp teeth are great for eating, but no, I know my teeth are fine, but you know, we live in a very superficial country, and it's good to. Oh, I'm always in a good mood.
14,000 signatures. We need 85,000 signatures. I'm going to post it in the room.
Okay, you're on with America's Third Party. What's your question, caller?
Hey guys.
Yeah, I was wondering how many state ballots are you guys on?
We're not on any state ballots right now. I was on the state ballot in Washington, and unfortunately, I was not able to go to the top 2 position because the Democrats, Republicans, most of my signs were stolen by my competitors. So they literally cheated to push me into 3rd place. That alone stands a lot right there. It just shows you how corrupt our system is, how these 2 parties have turned into a disaster. And I got to tell you, I would love to have gone on to the 2nd position. I just needed about 3,000 votes. And the demographics showed that I would have gotten those votes if my signs hadn't been taken down. Yeah. Mystery caller, not really, Hill. We know who that was. Dave, other than legalizing marijuana, what is a top priority for you? How long will it take to clean up Obama's mess? Good question. Well, we anticipate the first year we can jumpstart a couple big programs that will save the nation. Our homestead renewal plan will immediately start giving people $10 an hour jobs and the opportunity to own their own house someday. Using their sweat equity, they can fix up foreclosed and condemned houses and flip them for Uncle Sam so that Uncle Sam can pay you, the taxpayer, back, cut your taxes. We've got ways in which we can get these homes built and people in them. That's a long-term project. That's going to be a minimum 4-year plan. It could be an 8-year plan, but a 4-year plan to really get it going. Then we have a plan to create mobile medical units at the VA, modernizing the VA at the same time and cleaning up the VA. That plan is going to be a bypass for our healthcare system. That's going to be a really good jumpstart for lower healthcare costs. That's super important now, since Obama, even he admitted that Obamacare didn't solve the rising cost of healthcare. Of course not. It was all about giving big insurance companies a 30% increase in profit. It was more like them gouging us and us getting gouged. Okay, you've had good cases so far. Are you an intern over at CPS now, David Nation?
Oh no.
Why
is that happening? I don't have Skype open, but I do have Google open. Is that what's happening?
Maybe somebody.
Did you close out your Google?
Maybe
account?
Curtis is broadcasting and he got a phone call.
I'm going to share with my followers.
All right.
I'm going to Twitter this.
No, it's not thinner. It's actually thicker. My hair gets thicker every day. Thicker every day. Yeah.
I'm going to Twitter this link.
Go ahead.
Sign in and tweets. Tweet.
Yeah, have the FAA ban all incoming and out, because this is a really important issue. I think it's galvanizing our party and showing how different we are from the Republicans and Democrats who want to go along with everything that's status quo. I don't buy that we have to allow Africans coming into this country. I think that's a terrible thing. It's obviously going to spread the disease, period. I mean, there's a growing number of people. They say up to 1.4 million people could be infected with Ebola by the end of the year. That's a serious number. That's huge. That's almost beyond control if it reaches that point.
Well, let's see if it sent me in my email. The only problem is it says, oh, you have to verify it on your email, and then, oh, here it is. Okay, now I'm just verifying my email address.
Blue Medic Beta, you know, that story about the F-22, nobody knew about it. I talked about it for 6 years, that the F-22 wasn't used in any war, had never been used in battle. And I talked about that for 6 years, and then all of a sudden the F-22 was used. And it's funny to say that, because the F-22 really could be the intimidator. And we could use it against other countries to just make sure that we maintain advantage in regions that are currently our allies. Now, as you know, I'm a non-interventionist, so I don't want to pursue countries like Syria. But I do want to maintain support for Iraq, since we've invested $1.5 trillion in that country, as well as the lives of over 5,000 men. Let's not forget, they fought for Fallujah, and we need to at least give the new government, emerging government in Iraq, the best chance they can. Your daughter was on a talk show today, The Real? Really?
Would you like to add your name?
Wow, busy. Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'll add it for you.
Add it for me and put my email address, but let's not put that online.
I know.
Yeah. There's a bus crash of 48 Boy Scout soccer team. They think someone buried them in a mass grave. I heard about that, Sunstar. I heard they found it in a mass grave with 20 people in it. And the cartels admitted to killing a bunch of people. So it's the best plane we've got, Guest 217. And it's amazing how money-oriented Lockheed Martin is now on the F-35 when we're sitting on the F-22, which is the best, most combat ready for air-to-air combat of any plane out there. Are we really going to have to go to FEMA camps because of Ebola? It's a possibility that they want to create the justification for that, Bad Kitty. Yeah.
I think
it could be possible if it gets out of control. There's no reason to move people around. There's every reason to quarantine people. You want to rubber up over there, Ed? In other words, why move people around to FEMA camps? Why not just quarantine people right where they are?
Thank you.
And that would be my argument to the CDC. And I don't think they could give me a logical reason why we would have to move people. I don't get it. Yeah, so the whole argument that the CDC would have to take us to FEMA camps makes no sense during a pandemic.
This seems like we were being set up with Ebola. Big Pharma, maybe?
It seems like there's this false flag in operation. You know, even Brit Hume last night was on camera, I think it was Fox News or something, talking about how this ISIS thing is all overblown. Even the popular pundits now in the news are starting to see the huge problems and incongruities with the ISIL surgical strikes on Syria. So it's amazing how many people are starting to step outside of the two-party system to say, hey, this is not right. So they don't have a total hold or a lid on all of the people on the news right now. There's still, logic still can prevail in this incredible buildup of a World War III scenario. Logical minds may prevail here. But the powerful people seem to want to push for war and take over Syria. They seem to want, their end game is to destroy Syria and ultimately Iran, because Syria backs Iran. I think they're trying to go through the same technique they used with Libya. But Syria is nothing like Libya. Libya only had a few jets to defend Muammar Gaddafi. Syria has 350 jets and helicopters to defend Bashar al-Assad. Big difference. And we would be facing an air-to-air combat with not only Syria, but Russia. My hair looks screwed up? What do you mean? Maybe I should move it around, because you keep telling me I should have different hair. Let's see. Is that better? Does that make you more happy? Or, I mean, what do you want me to do with my hair? Because this is my hair. It's not some toupee. Is that better for you? What do you mean it never grows? I cut it. I kind of like that look. I know there's nothing wrong with me. They just keep messing with me, man. You don't like my part? Oh, I'm sorry. It's supposed to look the same. Most holograms do look the same. They don't require upkeep. You trim the hair on your avatars in some of your video games? Then why should I be any different? Well, David Nation likes to talk about his new job now that he is working at CPS.
Oh, are you working at CPS?
I think that's what he's talking about, yeah. I am not a shapeshifter. There is a big difference between androids and shapeshifters. Consult your reptilian manual, The Blue Project. Hey, let's talk about aliens, shall we?
Okay.
Sarah and I are starting to believe that aliens do exist. She's believed it for some time. I'm beginning to believe it, even though I've yet to see an alien. I've met people that say they're from Mars, and you know, it's like, yeah, right, sure. Of course, that guy who said he was from Mars disappeared into a wormhole, but hey, you know, I was looking at him in a store and he disappeared one day. It's like, where did he go? I looked everywhere. Yeah. So if you see people that disappear in wormholes, they may be part of that alien force. You 100% believe in aliens? Well, Lena, guess what?
We didn't update the number.
That's okay. It'll come in. Don't worry about it. That's a minor detail. It probably updates every night. Yeah, well, aliens actually, the existence of another life form outside of our planet is a certainty. The Drake equation in mathematics has been expanded, and they've looked at it as the preeminent mathematical equation to tell us that yes, there is an other life form in the universe, because the universe is an infinite universe.
Most likely.
Well, in an infinite universe, you have the ultimate possibility of something else existing like us somewhere in the infinite universe. That's basically the math behind it. The infinite part is the part that has an overwhelming propensity to create 100% guarantee that there is another form of life somewhere. Some people think they are real, and there is a whole group of people led by people like the great-granddaughter of Eisenhower, who's gone on camera to talk about how she's been approached by aliens to live on Mars. I'm thinking, well, what about Eisenhower? Well, it turns out that Eisenhower was key in this whole thing, that he may have dealt with the alien issue head up. Maybe it was going on even as far back as Harry S. Truman. We don't know. But there is a whole series of studies like the Majestic 12, which was a plan by what is known as the CIA to create an overall protocol to deal with aliens. And there's an argument that Eisenhower made a deal with aliens, that we would trade human beings in exchange for their peaceful accommodation for us to live here. Now that's the theory. That's a pretty crazy theory, that we've made some sort of a deal, trading humans for allowing us to stay here unattacked. They tried to explain the infinite universe, the Twilight Zone. Well, that's interesting. This could be the Twilight Zone. We could be traveling through another dimension. Yeah, so the Drake equation on 10 miles of beach, there's a definite possibility there's at least one girl who will like you, but a 99.9% chance that you'll never find her in time before you die. Hey, I like that. Yeah, that works, Meow TV. Thank you. No, I don't believe in any of these conspiracy theories. Like I said, I don't wear a tinfoil hat. I'm trying to explain that to you. No, I don't use Rogaine. You're obsessing. My hair is fine. Gosh, I mean, you know, why are you guys constantly obsessed with my hair?
I don't know.
It's absurd.
Okay. I feel like this.
Phone's on, man. I have more hair than
Do you
most.
need coffee or anything?
Yes, let me go get some coffee. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you. This is a message from the Aussie PM about preventing terrorist-related attacks. Okay. Well, I will open it, but I will not play it right this moment. Okay. Oh, yes, finally alone for a moment with all the other people here. Let's see. No, I'm not going to take any messages. You had a gastric sleeve, so you were able to lose weight? Wow. So they went in and did a surgery on you, Bad Kitty? That's a pretty intense thing to do. For sure. Hey, Mad Dog, you're over at our JustCast show, but I'm not sure if it's the same Mad Dog. No, I would not. I would never cheat on David, ever, with anyone. So, any person, any alien, anything. When is the last time I cried? Maybe this weekend. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying to be happy, but sometimes I cry on the inside, especially when I see sad people. That breaks my heart. When people get upset with themselves, that's really frustrating to me. Oh, people should be so happy with themselves. Everybody's a good person. Why do you I think they are using untested drug on Texas Ebola patient instead of the drug used on returning Americans from the hot zone? Oh, they used it. I did not know that, kidney thief. Well, because he's likely infected with Ebola, he has a 60% chance of living, and might as well try something anyway. That's why. It could also be that it could be the fact that they might not have any of the other drug that was proven to work available at the time. Oh, who is making you feel uncomfortable? Lena, Luna? Is it? So David Nation, stop bothering people. Stop bothering Lena, Luna. A U.S. No, David was never a female. A U.S. journalist believes he got Ebola while cleaning an infected car. The American journalist who arrived, okay, is spray washing a vehicle. Interesting. Do I think the government has cures for the diseases and they won't say and they'll only give them to the elite? That is a strong possibility, I must say. No, David doesn't have a twin, and no, I would never ever be with anyone besides David. They're mixing drugs in your town for the Ebola. Interesting. Like, really, they're creating the cures, or they're just mixing up drugs? Like,
it's like a witch's brew.
Maybe this will work.
I have newt.
Ooh, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I don't think Bad Kitty eats mayonnaise anymore. It was off-putting the... Oh, what? Not just the virus, but the pandemic will be deadly as well. Even Monsanto is getting involved. Oh, okay.
This is on our screen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
Sorry, very sorry.
A message from the Prime Minister. Our plan to keep Australia
I haven't seen
safe.
Bad Kitty. I'm sure she's beautiful.
All right.
Yes, unfortunately, Bad Kitty, I am required to, if you donate a second time, I am required to report it because it was over, if it's over $50. However, I must say, you could do something else under $50, which is you could go create a, like an ad in a local newspaper. You could do that. You could also, if you donate $49.99, could you be a mod? Aren't you from Canada though, Blue Medic? Are you a U.S. citizen? You have to be a U.S. citizen to donate, no matter what the money is, no matter what the amount is.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, you can make signs like David made. Exactly.
Yeah. You know,
even better.
I'm getting ready to bundle up some America's third-party signs.
David's gonna.
I'm gonna start selling, I think, 20 signs at a time or something, or 10 signs at a time.
But
I can make them for only 35 cents a sign. So for for the cost of shipping and me making them, if we have a $20 donation, I can send people 10 signs. That's what I'm thinking.
And if you don't mind your address and name being listed with the FEC, you could donate up to, I think it's 200. Is that right? I'm not sure. I have to check.
Oh, with the FEC, I'm not sure.
You could donate up to $199.99.
I don't look pale at all. In fact, my hair looks good.
Oh, thank you.
I got a nice tan. You guys are really grasping at straws here.
You can do independent expenditures, so you can spend as much money as you want promoting David. You don't have to tell us about that because it's totally independent. Yeah. And then that I do have to just tell you, independent expenditures, the FEC wants you to tell them how much you spent. So that's another thing. You could spend like $1 million on advertising in favor of David.
I wouldn't know about it.
Yeah. But then the FEC does want you to report any independent expenditures directly to them. So you would have to fill out the paperwork instead of me.
All right. So the federal government has found a person who's very angry and actually wants to move to Syria. So they're going after him. He says the kid's trying to join ISIS. They picked out this lone guy who he got upset at his parents.
Maybe
and Mohammed Hamza Khan was nabbed by the FBI's Chicago Joint Terrorism Task Force late Saturday for allegedly attempting to travel overseas to support terrorism. Khan, according to a criminal complaint, bought a round-trip fare to Istanbul via Vienna and was arrived in Turkey on Sunday. Why didn't he just go to Liberia? You know, wouldn't that have been better? He's been writing some pro-Islamic State stuff that sounds jihadist, so they've arrested him.
Good. Thank goodness.
Oh, Carl, hi.
I haven't decided if I'm going to give mods away, Bad Kitty, but you'll be at the top of the list.
Hi, Carl. How you doing? Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl. So what's been happening? Not much. Just kind of hanging out.
I know Bad Kitty's come here for years, maybe even since the beginning.
Okay, great. Well, thanks. No, Carl's not in the room. I've been getting calls from a person by the name of, this is Molly Brown. And I was like, no, or Molly Miller or somebody. It's like, I don't know anybody by that name. And it sounds a little weird. It sounded like a transgender calling me saying, I'm Molly Miller.
Well, 7989. People love food. What can I say? I smell like peanut butter cookies.
No, that's not Bad Kitty either.
No.
Enjoy. Sarah made cookies. You eat them.
Actually,
Sarah.
I'm not going to eat those. I'm saving them for my party.
I can't eat them.
I am going to have some pasta that you made for me because I never finish my lunches.
Oh, right.
I always have so much to do, so I get to eat it for dinner.
Excellent. Good. Well, enjoy.
So that's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to watch the video of the Aussie Prime Minister talking about Ebola.
David is an awesome cook. He really is.
I am a great cook.
He makes me lunches like almost daily. Like he makes a big batch and then we freeze them on the weekend, and then I just grab one whenever I'm going to work, and then I'm like, have that. Actually, I end up having half of it, and then I have the rest of it for dinner. So I'm gonna go have some food.
Enjoy, and
I'll be back in like half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that.
Okay, good. Well, thank you, Sarah, so much. You were awesome. You know, Rubiduck is having nightmares about conspiracies I'm talking about, and I'm not trying to freak you out, Rubiduck. You know, a lot of people are thinking this is like the Alex Jones show, you know. You're going to be on the red list, everybody. And watch out, you're going to be on RFID chipped. We're going to take away your rights. I don't want to freak you out like that. I was just trying to make you aware that you could die of Ebola because Obama is the worst president on earth. I use expired food as long as it's not from Liberia. I do believe people who have billions of dollars could be in the Illuminati. I can carry a show for hours abnormally. You know that. I've got, what, 6,000 clock hours in front of a camera talking to people. I think I can handle it. I don't copy Alex Jones. That's ridiculous. That's a problem. I could do a survival cooking show, yeah. Outside on my open pit. I've got a way of cooking with a Dutch oven in the event of a disaster that will make bread, make anything. Guys have an escort. Great. Great point. Thanks for sharing. I had this random thought that maybe you were some sort of a weird plant from another planet. Some sort of an alien porno guy. Alien porno actor. Okay, let's see what Prime Minister has to say. Could you speak it up, please? I can't hear you. I'm going to put you on the barbie in a second there, buddy.
First, your government will do everything possible to keep you safe. Second, security measures at home and abroad are directed against terrorism, not religion. Third, as Australians, we should always live normal. Because terrorists' goal is to scare us out of being ourselves. The government has a plan to keep Australia safe. We've committed $630 million more to our police, intelligence and security services. There are now stronger measures at international airports and many public buildings to deter extremists. And the Parliament has passed further measures to strengthen our counter-terrorism capability with more legislation coming. Our job is not just to deal with the symptoms of extremism, we must also deal with its origin. In this case, it's the extremism of the ISIL movement in Iraq and Syria. The beheadings, the crucifixions, mass executions, ethnic cleansing, and sexual slavery. They are
Whoa, wait a second. Yeah, I take offense to that there. He just said a lot of things that cannot be corroborated. I mean, like I said, even Brit Humes is starting to question the whole ISIL thing. Top newscasters are questioning this because the only videos we've seen show no actual blood in the beheadings. Has anyone seen a video with the blood gushing out? Because you can't cut a head off without the arteries and carotids spurting in 15 different directions. I don't know from experience, but trust me. So seriously, how come we don't see the real? Why is this terrorist force altering the video to make it look aesthetically pleasing for the viewer? I mean, what? There is no video. Are you talking about the guy talking? Okay, well, what is he going to talk about?
Here in Australia, we're a peaceful democracy. As Australians, we are rightly reluctant to reach out to conflicts thousands of miles away. Sadly, these conflicts sometimes reach out to us. In these uncertain times, I have three messages for the Australian people. First, your government will do everything possible to keep you safe. Second, our security measures at home and abroad are directed against terrorism, not religion. And third, as Australians, we should always live normally, because terrorists' goal is to scare us out of being ourselves. The government has a plan to keep Australia safe. We've committed $630 million more to our police, intelligence, and security services.
You think he's reading off a teleprompter, an Aussie teleprompter there? Yeah, ISIS is the new name that the CIA came up with to replace Al-Qaeda. Yeah. Wank, don't even go there. We don't care about the escort. All right? We don't even care about the whole porno scene you're involved in. We're not here because of your porno scenes that you're in. David, watch the documentary called Wolf Creek about Australia. All right, I'll do that there. 393. Absolutely. Well, I'm just wondering how slow this guy is going to talk. I mean, he seems to be talking at an incredibly slow rate.
There are now stronger measures at international airports.
I'm not being mean, Boyk. I'm just saying, you know.
And many public buildings to deter extremists. And the Parliament has passed further measures to strengthen our...
We all came from a penal colony. I didn't come from no penal colony, man. Why are you calling me a criminal? Y'all racially profiling me, man. These obese cunts aren't sending the right message. I agree with Meow TV. Could you, like, shave a few pounds off your cat videos? I didn't come from a penis colony either. And I don't believe it's fair to call any Australian who lived there for all their whole life some sort of a criminal. I get it. It's my haircut that makes me look suspicious. Discount, you're an idiot. What, for not taking your calls, Rodney? I don't think so. We don't need somebody defaming other people on the internet, making up lies about Carl or Molly or anybody. I don't think there should be an IQ test to vote for president. I think everyone, including people with mental difficulties, should be able to vote. It's all about awareness, man. You don't have to be a genius or a West Point graduate to figure out that people are screwed right now. The two-party system has taken over our country through the powerful moneyed interests controlling them, and they basically are a bunch of limp wee-wees standing around going, well, I don't know. What should we do? Oh. 492, you must be Rodney, because you're the only guy who's out there fighting for him here. Everyone else says Rodney's a bully. They don't like his derogatory tone that he uses. I did not pay anything for this beautiful hair. It came natural with God. God gave me this great hair. Well, Carl comes in. I don't know if he's a homosexual. I met him personally. He didn't come on to me, and you know, it's not like he was, hey Dave, how are you? He doesn't make the show better. He defaces it. It demoralizes it. He turns it into a joke. I mean, I could do the show with him, without him. like taking a call. Hey, Dave, how's the lovely Sarah? When's the show start? You know, I mean, I don't even need a call to get that.
Hey, discount, get a job.
You know, I mean, it's the same thing every night. I can be my own antagonist. You barely graduated high school? I'm sorry. You're putting you on ignore, King. That's right. Detour Laura does not want to hear from a-holes commenting about her tonight. Thank you. I don't make fun of his voice. He makes fun of his voice. It's all over the place. It's a joke. I didn't drop out of college. I left in good standing from UCLA. From UCLA. I could have gone back to UCLA and continued my program, but there's no way I would do it. I didn't have the funding. I'm not Jewish, for one. I'm not Asian, another. So I kind of cut my time at UCLA in 2 years. No, not necessarily. A lot of people other than Asian work at UCLA. I'm not racist. I'm just telling you the demographics. Mostly are Jewish and Asian. It's a fact. I don't have to go on a limb to tell you a fact, just like Jon Stewart pretty much ruined the entire career of Rick Sanchez, that great newscaster from Cuba. I like Rick Sanchez over on CNN. I think he was awesome, but he lost his job because he merely said on a radio show exactly what Jon Stewart said himself, that 85% of his staff were Jewish. I mean, seriously. Of course, I have a high school diploma. I graduated #1 in my high school class. What do you mean I have no clue, abnormal? I have the secret to the universe, man. Yeah. I discovered eternal life. You're telling me I don't have a clue. That's pretty funny. Wow. All right, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Boink, I heard that. I don't have any thoughts about that. You know, Ebola could happen in other areas besides Africa. It just so happens that fecal matter runs rampant. It's a breeding ground for the dangerous Ebola spread. Thank you. Well, let's be clear. Guest 393 says, my Obama and hey, Dave, it's me, Rodney. Impressions are really good. That's great. Well, Michelle would like to hear from you, but right now she's tucking. She'll be out of the bathroom in just a few minutes. Okay, Ebola is more dangerous to blacks due to genetic factors. Al Jolson, you know a lot about blacks. Well, for a person who imitates blacks, you don't know nothing. Hi, Rod. How are you? Hi, Dave. Rod, you're going to have to really do a lot of backpedaling to ever get back on the show.
Hello there, David. How you doing?
Where did that come from? Oh, my gosh. We got another video coming in from the other source. Okay, let's take a look at this rack of videos we opened up on JustCast. Cool. Thanks for coming in. Well, I'll see you there. We got a few people coming in the show from JustCast tonight. It's kind of absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. Okay, well, thank you for coming in and participating in the show, everybody. Let's see if I have any control over that. Yeah, I'll take care of that right there. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, including Vegas. It's unlikely Vegas is going to move anytime soon, but they are running out of water. And one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there right now today is this incredible story of chemtrails being used to create a drought in California. This is pretty bizarre, but you've got to admit it could be true. I mean, when you think about what these people do when they fly over in jets and distribute argon and, aluminum and barium, they're basically giving us barium enemas. They're basically giving us barium enemas in the air we breathe. So if you're wondering if you have a little, looseness in your stools, it could be the air you breathe. No, this happens again on Tuesday. But because it's a conspiracy theory that has a far-reaching effect, California could be in danger. Seriously. The drought in California is severe. And it just keeps getting worse. And I'm talking Texas and the Midwest, Virtual mega drought in California, folks. Oh, God, it's terrible. Looking like a Viking on cam. Thank you. Dave, they're saying blackface is racist. What's your response? Looking like a Viking on cam. Thank you. Hey there, Winchell. Nice to hear your deep melodic voice. You'd be a great Santa Claus, man. You're vaping too. Right on, man. Santa is vaping for Christmas. Santa is vaping for Christmas. It's a vaping kind of holiday. Everyone vaping. You got part of the vape network too, and maybe you don't have to say yes or no. It's okay. All right, let me address this accusation from the Democrats and the imbeciles, the Obama-tards that believe that my impersonation of Barack Obama is in some way racist. I cannot imagine how far we've gone and strayed from the formers and framers of our Constitution to have gotten to the point where we can't even parody the president. It's absurd to think that anybody who puts a face on that happens to be an impersonation face of the president should be accused of being a racist. I think it's preposterous. And that's why I think that this video needs version 2 coming up. And we're going to be doing version 2 coming up in the October 31st Halloween show. It's going to be a humdinger, kind of like Lawrence Welk's gathering of festive dancers with modest wear. We'll have a 1 and a 2 and a 3. We'll be doing a little song and dance too, in the Lawrence Welk style of blackface. I don't mean to in any way disparage Lawrence Welk. Thank you. Well, let's be clear, Corp. We're not only going to do an impersonation. We're going to actually try to bring on Michelle in drag. All right. We are friends with England 424. We just wish England would get their head out of their ass. That'd be great. You can quote me on that. We're friends with these people, but seriously, I mean, prosecuting somebody for not singing the English anthem, prosecuting somebody for calling a Pakistani a Paki. I mean, seriously. It's a good ab workout. Okay. Well, let's take any callers you want. I think we've got the Rodster in here, sitting in this window right here. And in here, I'm not sure who we have. Oh, Meow TV. And then over here, we've got Curtis. Cool. All right, let's get back to the news. The virtual mega drought, California avoids defeat. A few years ago, a group of researchers used computer modeling to put California through a nightmare scenario, 7 decades of unrelenting mega drought, similar to those that dried out the state in the past millennium. The results were surprising. One of the academics who conducted the study said, the California economy would not collapse, the state would not shrivel into a giant abandoned dust bowl, agriculture would shrink, but by no means disappear. Okay, well, isn't that an upbeat article? California has a remarkable ability to weather extreme and prolonged droughts from an economic perspective. That's an up positive thing, isn't it? Well, let's throw a few more chemtrails on that and see if they'll still respond the same way. Okay, what about other problems? The drought in California, drought. Here I'm searching for an article now. Okay, Colorado River drought forces a painful reckoning. This is a drought, Lake Mead. David, what video chat those folks on? Ed, those folks are on a thing called JustCast. See, we're moving around so fast we can't even control the flow of supporters here. My hair is as real as Howard Stern. No, more real. Howard Stern is a fake hair. This is like real hair, dude. What do I have to do? Like pull this stuff out? God, man. I mean, I've got the best hair on earth. It should be a national treasure. And all you come in here is calling you, yeah, is camel hair, man. Dave, get a Stern interview? No. 393. Howard Stern could never interview me. I shower all the time, Concordy. Yep. Yeah, he could never interview me. He doesn't have the mental acumen and intellectual capacity to interview me. I mean, every discussion would turn into a discussion of anal sex. Well, let's be clear. I'm not going to talk to somebody. See, Rodney just likes to let out a few racial epithets, and then that seems to make him feel better. See that? See, we got Rodney kind of on a leash here. I have not had a colonoscopy, America's Third Party. I'm still waiting for the new technology, the video camera pill that's being engineered right now, and they're going to be implementing it soon. I'd like to be the first person to take the video camera disposable pill. I'm not going to fish through my feces to find it. I want a disposable video camera, video pill. That way they can see my whole colon instead of just the last 5 feet. Avocados are good, but they can make you gain weight, bad kitty, and I understand you're facing a weight problem. I read PMs all the time, just not on this network. It's somebody who's claiming that I'm talking about chemtrails too much. All right, let's move on to the next story. Oh, man, it's tough. It really is. You know, we had to turn away a lot of interesting ideas for the show. And the last thing I wanted to do was forget that conspiracies do exist and that people are frightened about aliens. You know, I personally believe that this is an aircraft made by the United States government. This is the TR-3B, very likely an experimental aircraft made at Area 51. You're looking at a vector-shaped floating delivery system that is stealth and has the ability to do video cloaking. Yeah, it looks like a UFO, doesn't it? But this very likely was created and back engineered at Area 51. Now, whether it is alien technology or not, it does, I think, speak very loudly as a potential high secret tool used in defending our country. Now, in 2011, the Tacoma Tribune ran a story telling people that the FBI had acknowledged that a vector-shaped aircraft had been built at Area 51. Serious, the story did appear that it was a ability to video cloak, carry 200 people, paratroopers, and could deploy anywhere in the world. And within 2 weeks, that story disappeared. No, it's not the same stuff as last week. No, we've got lots new coming now, right now, for you. Sure. I'd like to take a temporary break in our show
the president
to bring you Barack Obama and his love affair with Jay Carney.
Any of the photographs of the deceased Osama bin Laden, and rather than, first, I will give you the language the president used when he was recently interviewed about an hour ago to explain his decision.
During Barack Obama's speech at 2012 APAC Policy Conference at the Washington Convention Center, the camera spotted a very odd individual who may be either with the U.S. Secret Service or with the Israels, and could be a strong evidence of a shapeshifter alien humanoid working for the powers that be. He caught in a high-definition video during an event of the Zionist cabal.
Four years ago, I stood before you and said that Israel's security is sacrosanct. It is non-negotiable. That belief has guided my actions as president.
Even though at first sight he looks just like the average Secret Service spook, a series of odd features on his head, face, plus a very strange behavior and creepy movements, suggest something else. But due to the low lighting in half the amphitheater, he would pass unnoticed or regarded as a normal human being by the crowd, and everybody who watched this video, if it was not by the camera of the Jewish News One, which caught him from another angle, apparently shape-shifting into some sort of reptilian non-human form. Disregard all the distortions and image artifacts caused by post-edition zooming, and pay close attention to how his head features suddenly change. His ears, his nose, his chin, cheekbone, jaw and mouth are no longer looking human at all. Matter of fact, now he has a blatant non-human face. So what just happened?
All right. So many of you are wondering, you know, what's going on here.
The shape-shifting device failed during Obama's speech.
Yeah.
In the middle of an amphitheater crowded with people.
Yeah, did it.
Is he an actual reptilian?
I think I've heard enough. Thank you. All right, great. Good to hear. All right, let's get back to the chat. I'm putting on a new background. We're going to try to bring the show into a different level now and try to get into the deeper meaning behind what's really going on here. Going with the alien theme, we must assume that there could be some sort of an alien takeover of our government at some level. Now, if we base our concerns on that theory, then we have absolutely no solution whatsoever to solve the problem other than creating a third party and getting the Full Disclosure Project to the forefront of the American people. That's a start. I'm not a Freemason. I belong to no secret societies. I'm not a wrestler, and I'll have new teeth soon, don't worry. I'm blocking you on the left, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll bring you in. Barack Obama was a strange character. Oh, Ed's here. Wow, hey, Ed. Wow, look at that. Ed, my man. Okay. We got a few people now who can contribute, and I can take your calls and talk in chat. Thanks for coming into JustCast. It's kind of a cool feature. It may replace StreamUp. The Santa guy is not a goof. He is Curtis. I am not wearing a wig. God, what do I need to close in on my follicles for you to really know that I have great hair? Yeah. It's all alien to me, Ron says. Busy has a link. Yeah, I'm relying on all of you to bring in more conspiracy theories. UFO Haiti, April 2007. Rare view of many UFOs at Haiti. Okay, let's take a look at that. Whoa, check this out, dude. Whoa, that's like really realistic, dude. Yeah. Well, let's be clear. I have a BB gun. Yeah, let's do a Bigfoot search right after this, okay? Be prepared to be alert. All right, that looked pretty realistic, I must say. Let's play it again. Realistic? Fake? What's your question? What's your decision here? David, how many bases have you got to Sarah so far? We don't go to any of the naval bases around here. Mostly gay guys, you know, attend those. Yeah. Dave had a bad idea allowing those cams to the screen last time you did a response video. Oh, you're right. We're going to get some nasty stuff coming in here. A stick of butter up her butt? I thought that was a transgender, Tossing Dave. Love at first type. That's a winning move. You'll find a girlfriend or boyfriend with that name. Yeah, I like that.
Easy, Dave.
Dave, is DB Cooper still alive? I don't know. Somebody said they found the guy. Smoke Break had a rapture dream, everybody. A rapture dream. So does this Prime Minister from Australia say anything else he wants to do to prevent Ebola from getting in? Because you said this video was banned. I want to play a little bit more of this.
Counterterrorism capability with more legislation coming. Our job is not just to deal with the symptoms of extremism. We must also deal with its origin. In this case, it's the extremism of the ISIL movement in Iraq and Syria. The beheadings, the crucifixions, mass executions, ethnic cleansing, and sexual slavery that are occurring in northern Iraq and Syria.
Okay, that's a lot to say in one single sentence, isn't it? Let's try that again.
Are occurring in northern Iraq and Syria.
No, not that.
In Iraq and Syria. The beheadings, the crucifixions.
The beheadings, the crucifixions.
Mass executions,
ethnic cleansing,
and sexual slavery. Are occurring in northern Iraq and Syria.
Yeah.
Only
President of Australia, yes.
If ISIL
Game over, dude.
So
I'm playing
Australia
Pong.
is supporting international operations against ISIL. It's a decision the government has made in Australia's national interest. We're doing so in a way that's prudent and proportionate. Our actions are supported across the political divide. And
I doubt he cuts his own hair. He probably pays a lot of Australian money, Australian tax dollars to cut his own hair.
Responding in coalition with other countries from around the world, including from the Middle East.
Hey, smoke break. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you got some problems there. Hey, mate. Nancy Grace here. Winter 2014, are you prepared? Thanks, Nancy. Is it going to be a cold winter, a nuclear winter, an Ebola winter? What kind of winter are you guys going to have? Are you going to have an Ebola winter, or are you going to enjoy fearless winter? Have yourself a very toxic winter. Yeah, you'll never be president. Wild man Dingo, man, you come in here all the time, man. What is your problem, baby? Y'all messing with me because you think I'm a white man. Hey, teeth brother. You're making fun of my teeth now? This guy doesn't have any to show off. Let me see if he smiles once.
Our goal is a safer Australia and a more humane world.
Yeah, me too. That's something that should be eulogized. I mean,
Many of you are concerned about the
you're wrong, sir. Look, I'm not going to belabor the point. That's a ridiculous joke of a video that should never have been banned. I look like a taxi with the doors open. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I get your. It's called a bug out bag, Hill. And everybody needs to start making their bug out bag. I am not a homosexual. Well, let's be clear. Barack Obama might be, but I am not. Man, I get down and dirty, man. Don't be talking to me about anything like that. I don't need tattoos to be a man. Well, let's be sincere. That's for a first time. Yeah, let's try to be sincere. What a joke. I'm sincere, but Barack Obama, you can't get a straight answer out of him. Yeah, big out bags. I'm gonna make one for you right now, baby. Y'all come over to my YouTube site and we'll check it out. All right? Yeah, I have a bug out video that I created, designed to protect the average person. Survival, everybody. That's the secret. Yeah. You could be GQ and still be a survival guy. Here's a little clip of my survival video on YouTube.
Hi, my name is David John Sponheim, and what you're about to see is how to make an urban survival kit on the fly in less than 10 minutes, starting with your clothes, okay? Now what I've done here is I've pretty much double layered my clothing, triple layered my clothing, so that we have maximum clothes when you go out the door. Now, if you're traveling in a situation, you've got to be able to be mobile. And that means that you've got to be able to handle your clothes, keep them warm, and keep them on your body. Now, everybody's got a backpack. If you've got a backpack like this is the perfect urban survival kit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to pack it and what you need.
And you can go like this. If you want, you can go here, and then you can go sounds off if you don't want the little beeping sounds.
Okay, but I'm a little concerned about those people. I like what they're saying, but okay, sound is back up. Sarah is in the show, everybody. What do you think of this background? This is harp. High.
Oh, this is HARP.
Yeah, this is HARP.
Now, did they? I thought they shut down HARP for a little bit.
You know, they say that, but no one really knows what's been going on at HARP for over 25 years now. They've been secret, stealth.
It actually has a website, so why don't we go look at that website? Because I think we have been knowing a little bit.
I know, but no one knows anything beyond the website. That's my point. High Frequency Active Rural Research Project.
There's
HARP.
a plus. There's also
High Frequency Active Rural
Let's be clear.
Project.
HARP.net.
HARP.net.
Let's see if that works.
This is this is not it. Somebody.
There's a HARP, like HARP. There's a government one.
Okay. HARPstatus.com. What are they doing now? There's a lot of people that are questioning what's been going on.
There was one about.
Status.com.
There's one like HARP.
Now let's be clear here.
Yeah. I can look for it, I guess.
Where's that video coming in?
That's from I think it's hilarious.
That's
it's
not that.
Curtis.
Oh, it's Curtis. Oh, really? Is that Curtis? Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah.
Well, let's be clear. Well, I'll see. That's going to really piss off Rodney when we start doing that, because he loves to do that. That's his big favorite thing. Okay,
Are you gonna
Sarah's
unmute this
going
person, or?
No, that's Rodney.
Oh, okay.
Well, our show likes to be clear.
Curtis, you're great. Rodney, why don't you give Curtis a run for his money here? Go ahead. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't want to do anything on cue because he feels put off.
But you don't want to. You want to mute them. Okay, that's fine.
Rodney's nobody. Let's forget about it.
Okay, so HARP. I read. Where did I read that? It was up. Go up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I was checking out the sound of HARP. I just want to play the sound of HARP. Like HARP music?
Scary lights and noise.
This is now regular people here in camera sound.
Tonight, investigators are trying to solve a bizarre mystery in Flagler County.
A number of people say they felt the ground shake today. Several people around the Palm Coast area called in to report it. And people in the Daytona North area, as well as in Deltona and as far north as St. Augustine, say they felt it too. Channel 9's Jason Allen is live in Flagler County, and Jason, some worried it was an earthquake.
The emergency management office has been on the phone here all day trying to figure this out. This was not a boom, an audible boom, at least not as described to us, but it was more of an actual shaking, buildings shaking. In fact, a dispatcher here at the county actually felt it happen.
This was in 2001.
And a while ago, the house was shaking. Did you have to know?
I'm not sure. We're actually getting quite a few calls about it now. We're having someone check it out, okay?
That 911 call was one of about a dozen calls that poured into Flagler County about 9:30 Friday morning.
Okay, this preceded didn't this precede one of the
hurricane or something?
Hurricanes in 2011? I don't know. Okay, let's. You're very autumnal. No, not really autumn colors. These are black. Black is a power
I'm
color.
Green.
Sarah's green.
Like a dark green. So.
Oh, our audio's off. Yeah, this is black and this is green. Sarah's wearing. These are power colors, basically. No sound. Yeah, sound went. You cannot hear me right now, so I will go ahead and add a sign language interpreter to the show for all of you who are hearing impaired. Yes, we have the ability to give you some help there in this department. We have an interpreter standing by who will give us immediate assistance.
The green air from the HARP is somewhat, unhealthy.
Last week it was announced that Barack Obama was in a elevator with a guy who was a felon who's carrying a gun. Lax security at the White House is exactly the problem. And for those of you who need interpretations, here's another guy who was next to Barack Obama when they went to the burial ground of not Jacques Denostre, that's Meow TV, but this is from his clip. This is the guy that actually was psychotic, was standing next to Barack Obama at the Nelson Mandela Memorial. That's right. He's the interpreter from the Congo. He actually was in a sting operation. They got him for attempted murder, but he got out and then got real close to President Barack Obama and faked the sign language thing. He claimed this was all a fake, that he was possessed by some god or something. Yeah. But you see how lax security is for this president, and I should be running for president? What we need is some RESPCT. That's right.
Okay. If you're really deaf, can you read my lips?
All right, that's the whole point I was making. You know, see, he was throwing gang signs at the Obama speech. Exactly. Guess 750-124-0777. It's not American Sign Language. Nobody even understood what it was, but that's how completely ridiculous our president's security force has been. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Even people in the Secret Service have come forth and said that they don't really like Obama. Seriously. So what's happening really is a general disgust for Michelle and Barack, and it's been getting some airplay recently because of this woman, Pearson, Miss Pearson, who basically quit, head of the Secret Service, took the fall for the lax security at the White House that allowed that guy to come in. Now, was that guy from Liberia by any chance, the guy who broke into the White House? White House break-in. I wonder if he was like from Liberia. That'd be kind of a weird twist of fate, just thinking about it. White House break-in occurred. Intruder made it deep into the White House. He went deep, everybody. He's going for the long bomb. Or, no, that's not true. He just basically wanted to go deep into the White House. Here's a picture of him. Let's show. An intruder made it deep into the White House. This is where he went. Check it out. Right through the front door. Right through the entrance hall. It shows you where else he went. The man who breached the White House security earlier this month got farther into the building than initially said, according to several reports on Monday. The Secret Service had initially said the alleged intruder, Omar Gonzalez, who jumped a fence, ran across the north lawn on the evening of September 19th, was stopped just inside the doors of the north portico, but actually made it hundreds of feet deeper into the White House before being tackled by a counter-assault agent at the south end of the East Room. Someone probably said, well, dude, do you like belong here? Yeah, he's probably trained better than the Secret Service. Was he a Liberian? Does anybody know if he was from Liberia? I totally deep, Ron. What if it's announced that he just made a trip from Liberia and had landed at the White House? Well, yeah, how is this an issue? Well, the issue I'm trying to lay out, Guest 419, is bad things happen and they are foreshadowed by the elitists that want to make things even worse. What if this guy was put up to this? What if they wanted to breach White House security just to see if they could get away with it? And they found some idiot who was trained in the MK Ultra project to do it. Nobody in their right mind would breach the White House security. I mean, that's like a 25-year sentence.
There was somebody who recently did, though.
And he's serving 25 years in the in the federal penitentiary. Those guards on that roof were no useless. Yeah, I know, man. Well, let's get a picture of the guy at least. Slow mode is on? Really? Is slow on? Put slow off. That's probably the problem.
I think, Bob, it has to do with the fact that as a society, the society in general don't respect children as individuals, people, and then therefore, they associate teachers with children and don't respect children.
Exactly.
Teachers. Yeah, that's okay.
I completely agree, Sarah.
Exactly. I mean, we have to start seeing children as individual people. I know some children hate school, and I'm like, I'm sorry that you have to be here till you're.
Somebody got a picture of him running into the White House. That was him.
Yeah.
Running across the White House lawn. I don't feel safe with the existing Secret Service. That man was a professional. Well, I'm trying to find out who the hell it was.
I can't call Rodney.
Omar.
I don't have his phone number.
It's all about the children.
It's all about the children.
It's all about respecting them. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, children need to be respected. You can't do slow. Yeah, I don't even know how slow-mo got turned on our site.
So I turned it off, I think.
Well, most people who come into the White House, it's seen as a direct threat to the president. Here he is.
There's nothing wrong with anyone working for free. It shouldn't matter about skin color.
This guy looks like he's paramilitary, just by the bald head and the tough grin. He kind of looks a little bit like Zimmerman, George Zimmerman, doesn't he?
Maybe.
I wonder if it is George Zimmerman. Oh, my Ebola is hanging just fine, thank you. I've never banned you once. Oh yes, I did ban you many times. Well, genetic mutilation is not something we're here to talk about, Puffington. You know that. We don't make comments. It's a parent's choice to
of course, you can go and urge all parents to not do that.
Oh, not me.
That's
okay.
your right. I mean, not you. I'm saying them.
Mr. Gonzalez, a native of Puerto Rico, was stopped by the Secret Service near the White House. He allegedly burst through the White House security Friday with a folding knife in his pocket. 2 hatchets. Police also found a machete, 2 hatchets, and more than 800 rounds of ammunition in his vehicle. See, I know. Thank you, Curtis. The Secret Service said Monday it was widening its internal revenue review of the incident beyond looking at the operational policies and security procedures.
I think this guy in the White House was a few weeks ago.
I know. I like bringing up old news. I really, well, old news, it has a tendency to mature with time, kind of like wine. It's not a racist accent. I was merely impersonating someone who was of Mexican descent. Are you saying that if I were to sing the Frito Bendito song, that would be a racist slur?
Some people think so.
It's a part of American history, the song.
I know, but
so why was I?
Some people are offended by different things.
Well, anybody can be offended by anything.
Yes, I know.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, we have a nation of free speech.
It means that
people
if someone
can be offended
tells you they're offended,
oh, no.
then you can choose to not continue with that behavior.
But I don't care.
I mean, you can do behavior, and then if someone's offended by that,
I know.
You can say, "Okay, I'll stop."
No,
thank you.
Look I can't stop because somebody's offended. That is a violation of my free speech. And frankly, as a voiceover artist, I have the right to impersonate Frito Bandito. Okay? Thank you. All right, moving on. Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. They can join the military. That's true. They in fact, it was released last week that illegal aliens can join the military now.
Was it released last week?
Yeah.
I remember when I was going to college, there was at least one Russian that was part of our military.
Russian? Really?
Yeah, and he was working to get his green card by joining our military.
Ruski tried to join your military?
He wasn't tried to, actually was.
He was a secret agent?
He tried to join your military.
It wasn't secret. Nothing secret about it.
Was his name Boris?
I don't really know his name. I think it was John.
Pentagon will allow undocumented immigrants. Check this out. This is a great story that came in just recently. The Vice News covered it. This is just an eye-opener, Sarah. It makes you wonder, are the elitists trying to turn our nation into illegal alien heaven? I mean, these people can come into our country and they can get a job here in the military. They come in here illegally. Here, I let you get the link. You can see it. Okay, the Pentagon made a surprise announcement on Thursday to let undocumented immigrants serve in the U.S. military, but few of them are likely to get into the armed forces under the new policy. Okay.
Well, we're not on Stream Up tonight, Ed. I mean, it's just a hassle to go on there.
I'm mystified as to why they announced this policy. It makes no sense, said Margaret Stock, an Alaska-based immigration lawyer. Even people who are immigration lawyers don't like the fact that people are going to be able to join the military. They don't want to conscript illegals. They want to give them benefits and all kinds of freebies. It's interesting. The border is illegal, not them coming here. Oh, wow, you're a real liberal, aren't you, 868? Yeah, I think a lot of these bleeding heart liberals think that we should open the border with a country that's got a population explosion of 35%. Whereas in America, our population increases 5% only because we allow the border to be an open sieve, letting these people come in. Well, let's be clear. I'm a voiceover artist, and I reserve the right to do a Frito Bandito impersonation. Okay? Just leave it at that, all right? And realize it's free speech, okay? So if you want to come in here and judge me and call me a racist, denying me my rights as a citizen, then go right ahead and join the communist revolution that's happening in Obama's White House. Mr. President, tear down this wall.
Sorry, Lois. You were put on mute.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. You want your house, David? It's your right as to be. David has a right to be. Yes, I'm not a racist, but I have a right to speak out publicly. Yeah, it's a communist revolution. Yeah, and it's happening within the ranks of Obama's commie leftist friends that are running the show.
I just unmuted everyone.
I'm not a homosexual, and even they should have rights. You just muted everybody?
I just unmuted.
Oh, okay. I was going to say if you muted everybody, we wouldn't have a show. Hey, you know, you can talk better than me. I'm just going to take a break. I have to go feed the fish. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But if you want to do any news like in this area and you know, talk about the news, everyone loves your new smile. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, great. If you want to review that, I'm going to go feed the fish and I'll be right back.
I'm so happy, I would say. There's, what, 30 states where gay marriage is now accepted, legal. Don't oppress you from being oppressive? Okay. Yes, we have koi fish. We have koi ponds. Yes, I can talk interrupted. I should go for it. Sometimes I have the opportunity and I'm like, what should I say? U.S. is working on new screenings for Ebola, but no travel ban. I mean, what are they going to do with screening these people? Everyone tweet. Travel ban, Ebola. Yeah, exactly. 7,500. If people dislike free speech in America, they could just sleep. What are jeggings? They're yoga pants. I'm wearing just regular pants right now, but I sometimes wear leggings, especially underneath underneath the skirt. Okay. Yeah. I don't know where my new glasses are. I know maybe I should call them tomorrow. Well, shouldn't they be coming in now? Because I went the first day of school, and it's been nearly a month. So, yeah, maybe if they don't call me this week, then I will call them. Find out where's my glasses? Yeah, they said in a couple of weeks, and it's been like a long time. So I should have new glasses pretty soon. All right, what is this new screenings for Ebola? The government would develop expanded screenings of airline passengers for Ebola, both in West African countries hit by the disease and the United States. The first patient diagnosed with the disease on U.S. soil remains in critical condition in a Dallas hospital. Somebody told me last night he died, but he didn't die. Drug-resistant strains of AIDS are thinning. What? All right. He remains in critical condition. They're going to follow existing protocols strictly, but they're also going to work on protocols to do additional passenger screening, both at the source and in the United States. The White House said that a ban on travel from West African countries, which some U.S. officials have called for, would slow the fight against Ebola. I'm sorry, but I would say people can feel free to travel to those countries, but they should not travel back from those countries. Now, so in other words, go and help out all you want and stay there till it's cured. All right, now I will say this. All of you can go to whitehouse.gov and sign that petition to ban travel from Ebola-ridden countries. White House spokesman Josh Earnest said officials did not want to impede transport systems used to send supplies and personnel to them, so a travel ban was not being considered. I'm sorry, make it a one-way travel ban. You can go in, but you can't come back out. That's what I think should happen. That's totally what I think should happen. Now Spain has Ebola, now U.S. has Ebola. Crazy. All right. I love you. Airlines for America is going to meet with health and safety officials to discuss whether additional screening procedures might help versus just those already in place. How do I say that? Enterovirus claims a preschooler has now died from enterovirus. In New Jersey, a 4-year-old. Enterovirus D68. It's very, this is very scary for many people, this enterovirus, because it causes. Are you leaving? Is that why you're waving? It causes paralysis, enterovirus. So it's like as scary as polio. Very, very scary stuff. And now one preschooler has died from it. And yes, it can cause death, but even in some ways, oh good, I'm glad you're not leaving. I saw your beautiful, is it wife, girlfriend? I saw your beautiful partner. She's very pretty. Yeah, but that is very scary stuff, the enterovirus. Meg Whitman finds a vision for HP. She was the CEO of eBay at one time, and now she's the CEO of Hewlett Packard. Okay, and they've acquired, Hewlett Packard has acquired Compaq Computer, and she wants to look like IBM. With U.S. airstrikes on key ISL targets in Syria, America has now bombed its 7th country under the Obama administration. Libya, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. Wow, thank you for keeping that. I'm going to copy that down. Oh, thank you for liking my hair that much. Good point, Blue Medic Beta. You're in stick cam? Oh, Coldle Bridge. Is that what I don't like about it is that you, Ridge? I don't like the fact that I can't see your names. Like, I'm going to suggest this. When I scroll over, I should be able to like see whose video it is. Don't you think? That would be pretty cool. I think they should be able to code that. I mean, they're pretty cool coders, right? So why not? Hello, Shrek. All right, so let me just put this in here. Today is October 6th. Ridge 5, Ed 4, Curtis 3. Okay, so is there a way to see it? How do I see who it is? Church Lady 2. I thought 2 is Meow. I didn't know 1 was Mad Dog, though.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, he came in the room.
Cool.
All right. We got people talking, and I don't do LSD, so you are mistaken.
Okay.
No, you bet wrong. You just lost a lot of money.
Islamic State is battling Kurdish fighters on in the Syrian border.
Hey, Dave, what's going on, my white Caucasian brother?
If you were an African American, Ed, I would say welcome, African American brother. You know, how about the DMT? I can't respond to that. Richard. South Korea's relations with North Korea we're talking about here. Samsung, Hyundai are
So the
losing their
combined
sway.
market value of Samsung and Hyundai shrank by $44 billion this year. They're still worth $194 billion.
But that's a fraction compared to what, you know, Mark Zuckerberg is worth now that he's tripled and quadrupled his wealth when he borrowed it from the Federal Reserve.
Samsung is, of course, facing stiff competition from Apple. And
why doesn't Mark Zuckerberg just buy North Korea, you know?
South Korea.
Or South Korea, for that matter. Yeah, Facebook is all pumped up, make-believe, the whole thing. Yeah. They basically are owned by the government. Mark Zuckerberg is a guy who will do whatever it takes for more money.
Yes, it's true. Hyundai and Samsung make real products. Korea ups its robotics game. This is from Bloomberg Business Week Technology.
It's black shirt night tonight. Conspiracy Monday is a black shirt night. Okay, so in '76, an animated film called Robot Taekwon V captured Korean kids' imaginations with its tale of superhero robot fending off giant machines bent on world domination. Why am I reading this?
I'm reading it. You don't have to read it.
Great. I have a strong view on same-sex marriage. I think anyone who wants to get married should not have the government involved. You know, so if you're a gay couple and you want to get married, just go to a state that allows it, or just get married. I'm not gay. God, you bi-curious gay guys are really having a problem tonight. I wish you'd go away. Yeah.
Okay, I was just reading
So just, you know, go ahead and get married in a spiritual way, but, you know, legally you can form a legal document saying that your lover can get whatever you want, and it's a legal process. It's nothing to do with the government. It's then a legal process. You go through the judicial system. That has a lot to do with the government, but all right.
I will have to look at it.
You know, I got to tell you, a lot of people who are angry at me personally for not letting them constantly harass and degrade our show. You don't have a guy who's in here saying, rooting for you, going, yeah, call David a fag. That's great. Yeah.
I don't read. Never mind.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, he's like, that's the last thing I need to be called. I'm not gay. It's like, what the hell? And you keep working it. It's like there's some sort of a sick mentality going on here. It's the stalker mentality. And I think we should set up laws to stop the stalking behavior and sexual harassment that's going on here. You know, I don't buy into the idea the government should watch everything we do. I believe in net neutrality. I believe that we should be allowed to download whatever we want, as long as it's not the first copyright of any one product. All right, good.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks, Susan. But I in no way want the government intruding upon our personal lives, but I do want the government to protect some 14-year-old kid that's being called gay when he's not. Or me, for that matter. Or anybody. You know, we heard about the girl whose mother was raped, gang raped in Alberta, or actually it was New Brunswick, Canada. Her mother was gang raped, she was gang raped, and then she killed herself. Because everybody went online posting pictures of her naked body, and she was so very shamed, and her whole life was destroyed, and she killed herself. Do you even care? But I'm a person. I'm not 14, but I'm a person. I don't like to be sexually harassed. It doesn't even matter. You should show respect for people's sexual choice, whatever it is. Of course, I'll be on a type of show like this, Trek, but not Vaughn per se.
Maybe it'll be on whitehouse.gov.
Whitehouse.gov might be the way to go, yeah. We'll bring back fireside chats with America, but we'll light them with gasoline. Thank you, ATP Synthase. It's not a good story, Earth Bureau. The woman actually, the girl, she was 16, I believe, when she killed herself. She's dead. And New Brunswick, Canada, the province of New Brunswick, is actually going out of their way to create a law against cyber stalking. Where's Obama on this issue? It was very respectful. Absolutely. I have sadness, but I don't want to cry outright. I was fake crying because I do have sadness about this woman. But I'm not like Obama saying, I'm sorry the kids at Sandy Hook died. No, I mean, I have genuine sadness for the woman, but I'm not going to break a tear right now and go, yeah, man, it's bad. It's crybabyism, exactly. Well, maybe that's true. Obama's love child is doing quite well, though. I understand taken care of by foster parents. Once the Secret Service got rid of the child's mother outside the White House. Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory, that this whole story has been covered up by the media. The woman was 16 that killed herself, and her mother was gang raped in the previous generation. It was like a family tradition of being gang raped by these thugs in New Brunswick.
06966.
Well, I mean, I don't have to go very far to find a conspiracy about Obama, I'll tell you that. I just go to my Obama file. And I brought this up the other night, and I want to bring it up tonight because it's not something I really need to ignore. The media is ignoring it, but I don't need to ignore it. This is from Freedom of 1870, abolished the Act of 1871, which changed the nature of government. But check this out. It's this video right here. You remember that? Miriam Carey fleeing the scene. Well, it turns out she was fleeing the scene in a car. And there's two people in the car. You can see it in the picture. And this guy went out of his way to slow down the entire picture and show it up in detail. But you can clearly see two heads in that picture. But the media said there was only one head in that picture, which makes you believe that she was alone in the car with her kid.
How
and
do
then
you know that's not a backrest?
Well, you know, I get this question all the time, and I'll bring up the other video that has an equal.
Well, yeah, but that's from a different angle.
Well, it's still a valid video that will definitely show you the backrest of the actual car.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see two heads. I see a head and a backrest.
Yeah, you don't. You know, it's funny we should do this again, but I'll do it again.
I'm
anyway.
sorry.
No, I'll play it for you. I have
like
another
that.
video for you to play. It shows in much better detail. Here it is. And you'll hear a local station in Connecticut, Eyewitness 3 TV news stations, say there was two people in this. Check this.
Was a second person that was inside that black Infinity with that woman. That person, we are being told, is now in police custody. Was a second person that was inside that black Infinity with that woman. That person, we are being told, is now in police custody.
Okay, there was a second person, and this is the local news channel.
It was a child?
No. You see, the main news said that there was a child and the mother was eventually killed, and the child was taken in foster care. That's what the mainstream media news talked about. But as you can see, Sarah, right next to you, you can see this is the exact same car.
Yeah, a different
and
angle.
it doesn't have a headrest that goes 8 inches above the headrest.
Where's the head? I see this is the headrest right here.
Yeah.
This one's a headrest, and that's her head.
No. I'll show you. It's not that at all. In fact, this is a.
What's up, Bob White?
Hey man, how you doing? How you doing, Ed? Nice to hear from you.
David's gonna draw us where he thinks the headrest is in the head.
These are both outlines of two heads.
Sorry, I just had to.
Where's the other head? Way back there?
No, basically Miriam is the smaller head. Miriam is a smaller head, and I'm surprised you can't see this because the headrest is clearly. I have to open up 2 different whiteboards to do this.
Yes, I guess so.
The video, you can't see the second head.
No, I'm showing you the second head, man. It's all right in front of you.
There's a second head.
Oh, I can't believe you people can't see this.
Hey, I most definitely see a second head.
Thank you.
You definitely do see a second head?
Yeah.
I do see a second head.
I can't even see the person in the car. It's like it's being moved by remote control.
Wait,
Those are the
way
two
back
heads
there?
right there.
back there?
No, this is the headdress right here.
No, that's the bar that goes across the.
All right, I can't exactly dial in on this perfectly, but I will show you the outline.
Here, you can move it over here.
I don't mind. No, I'm doing it right here.
Okay, that's one.
No, there's two heads there.
Headdress.
There's two heads there. There's one head.
Okay.
This is Miriam's. This is Miriam's head.
Okay, why would that be Miriam's head if she's in the passenger seat?
If she's in the passenger seat, that's the point.
Oh, you're saying she's in the
He's
passenger
driving
seat?
her. Yes. She wasn't driving the car.
She wasn't driving the car.
Look at this. Look at how small this is.
I never heard that theory. She wasn't driving
she wasn't driving the car. Look at how small this headrest is right here in the same exact model.
Have you had your glasses checked lately?
Yeah, Curtis, thank you.
Well, I guess I will have to go get my glasses checked. I'm supposed to be getting new glasses, but they haven't come yet.
Well, here they are.
Okay, maybe you guys are right.
No, I don't need to be right. I just want to be right.
Of course, you always want to be right.
I want to be right. I don't need to be right. It's not like I have an innate need to be right. Okay, let's bring up the green screen again and stand over here by the chemtrails. Oh, excuse me, the HARP signals.
No, David's not on StreamUp, but we are at justcast.org.
Yeah, if you want to go to JustCast, we're experimenting with that tonight instead of StreamUp. So we got all these people like Curtis and Ed and Meow TV and Mad Dog.
So what happened to the second person? Is that your question or what?
There's no question. Miriam was killed.
And
her sister.
Should I ask that question or should I?
The guy got out of the car. Witnesses said the guy got out of the car. The car stopped just about a half a block away. And the guy got out of the car. Witnesses said Miriam stayed in the car and was shot to death. And she was unarmed and she was shot to death. And Miriam's sister is so confident that Miriam was the mother of Obama's love child that she's actually filed a lawsuit against the Secret Service and Obama, insisting on a paternity test to verify the identity of the child. I'm not David Koresh, I'm David Sponheim. Let me bring up a different background now because we have to mix this up. Yeah, we can't just have HARP on here all night long.
Yes, I hear you clearly, Curtis. It was not you talking about being a second person. You said that you did see a second person.
He saw a second person. Curtis did.
What you said.
He did. It was no contest.
That's what Curtis said.
Yeah, I saw it. You saw it. We all saw it. You just didn't want to see it.
No, that was not me.
That was not Curtis.
Oh, Curtis.
No, that was me, David and Sarah.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog saw the second person. Thank you, Mad Dog. All right. Well,
okay, sorry, Curtis.
Miriam Carey is a very attractive woman. If you want to look into the story as a conspiracy theory, it's very likely that Miriam was taken out because she knew too much. She had been unemployed for over a year as a dental hygienist, yet she was somehow renting an Audi that cost $600 a month. Miriam Carey was the woman who was shot to death. She was unemployed for about a year and a half as a dental hygienist.
But she was able to rent a. And what is this? This is a picture of her?
It's a picture of a very pretty Miriam Carey, yeah. Miriam Carey met Barack Obama and got a chance to know him through her sister's outreach program to prevent women who have extreme cases of the situation. Thank you. Stream up on? You want stream up? Okay.
No.
I'll bring it in over here.
Whatever.
But her sister was representing an organization that was helping women with menstrual problem, actually post-menstrual syndrome, PMS. And her sister was active and receiving a lot of Democratic support for this PMS work that she was doing, dealing with women in PMS. That being the case, Miriam had a chance to meet Barack Obama and actually have relations with him. And she tried desperately to get to the White House. This is why she made this desperate attempt. Over 7 times she went to the White House to try to see him and was turned away every time until finally some guy got in her car, drove her down the street, got out of the car, and the Secret Service killed her, shot her to death. She was unarmed. And nobody wants to pursue this case. PMS, not post-menstrual syndrome, PMS, premenstrual syndrome. Thank you, love at first sight. You must know a lot about that. Yeah. Okay, she's built like a man. Yeah, good point. She's got manly arms, kind of like Michelle Obama. She's not that far away from the first lady or first man, whatever, you know, in terms of looks. They're both very attractive men and women.
So I think the reason they gave her shooting her is because she fled the scene of a crime, fled the scene, and the scene was that she was trying to enter into White House premises.
Yes.
I think that's what my understanding is. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Now, there was a recent link to Barack Obama's vacation with Reggie Love, and we played that last night.
That's what David's saying, 1635. That's what David's saying. And not only that, but fathered a child with her. Even though David also says that he did not father any children with Michelle.
Yeah, this woman
pretty confused, but
yeah.
Sing us a song, Santa.
Song.
Oh, he's gonna play some music.
This is the link right here. Obama vacationed alone with Reggie Love. This just came in last night.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that he's like vacationing with Reggie Love, and you've already said that you think that he's has homosexual relationships, and then I mean, to me, it just doesn't. Things don't add up when you're saying, oh, but yet he's also had this love child with a woman.
Yeah. Well, you know, bisexual people have sex with men and women. It's not uncommon. Okay.
Okay.
It's not uncommon for people to have relations with men and women who are bisexual. So the possibility that the woman was the mother of his love child is still very real. Was that it? I can't hear you, man.
David's not on stream up yet. He might be going on there.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but Ed, people are asking you just to get any job at all. They don't care what, but they just want you to get a job, man. How do you feel about that? Do you feel offended? Like, who died and put them in charge and told you to go get a job when you've got emotional issues? Or
where? Screw a damn job. Get a job where?
There's plenty of jobs available. You know that. There's no question about the number of jobs available. I mean, I could probably go work at Home Depot right now and stand there and go, "Hi, can I help you?" You know, it's money. You know, there's money to be had, Ed.
The job that's available for people who have valid driver's license.
Oh, come on, Ed. I saw a disabled guy meltdown. Ed. I saw a disabled guy over at Lowe's Hardware working there, and he was standing in the bathroom playing in the water because apparently autistic people...
He does have a car, though, and driver's license.
Well, I don't know that. Maybe he was dropped off by his mom.
I do know that.
Oh, you do know the guy?
Yeah, because I know the guy.
Okay, well, either way...
Ed, I don't know the guy, actually. I don't know the guy, but I know of the guy, and I do know that he has a driver's license in a vehicle.
Okay. Obama and I went camping once.
But I also know that you don't need a car for every job out there because, I mean, you know, there are 16-year-olds that don't have licenses yet that are able to get jobs. Yeah. You know, maybe not the best job, but they're able to get jobs. I was able to get a job when I was 16, working at, a fast food restaurant. So...
David, why don't you get a job before asking other people to get one? I never asked Ed to get a job. I said, how do you feel about that, Ed? Somebody telling you need to go get a job. I didn't say he should get a job. No. I don't want to lay that trip on you. You know, we were born into this world innocent little babies. We weren't born into this world as worker bees, as little insects, as the Matrix. We want pot as the Nazi party. We were born into this world as little babies. And we should pursue our creative interests and pursue the dreams of our motivation, our motivational dreams.
DJ, thank you.
Tabula.
So Ed,
thank you.
Contact Asset DJ. He can hook you up with it.
Thank you, 163. You know, I don't think Ed wants to work.
Well, I'm just saying that there's a person that's offering him employment.
Okay, we got tonight's chemtrail picture coming from King Moron. King Moron just brought us some really good chemtrail pictures, everybody. Check this out. Now, if you haven't had a good chance to capture some chemtrails in your local area, maybe you're not under the chemtrail fly zone. You might want to move to Virginia or Washington State where they pretty much are manufacturing some sort of a drought using HARP and chemtrails combined. High frequency active auroral research project and the chemtrails combined to create a slurry or a mix of chemicals in your atmosphere, which can pretty much get more and more porous or filled with water. They become condensed water and then create much more rain. In fact, we had chemtrails above our house like this. And I said, Sarah, in a couple of days, we're going to get rain. And boy, did we get rain. It came down, and we're getting more rain in Washington than ever in the history of Washington State. No, I don't have a medical condition. I just don't need a job because I retired, okay? If I wanted to go out and work every day so that I could make some money and put it in my little piggy bank, which I already have a big piggy bank and I don't need any money. But if I wanted to work every day, what would I do that I would enjoy? You know, the big question is, what would I enjoy? Not what would I be forced to do. Well, I live a life that is completely comfortable and I don't have any worries and I'm enjoying life. So why would I want to force myself to go work? Robert's here. Okay. Okay, Robert, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, David? Hey, did you have a show yesterday? Or last night?
No, well, Sunday we don't do shows.
No, Sunday,
Sunday's a day off.
We have a show last night.
I have a show I do for the Christian Broadcasting Network.
I did fill out FEC paperwork yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Another thing, I mean, I know that you didn't say anything to Ed about getting a job or anything,
no,
but you know, if Ed is, you know, willing to, I could get him a job at Costco near him.
Yeah.
Just saying. I mean,
Ed, you got a Costco opportunity, Ed. You notice how Ed just checked out of the room? We said the bad word here. Ed heard the word job and he checked out. Seriously. No, I'm serious. Ed does not want to work. I'm telling you, he doesn't want to work. He never wanted to work. He never worked in his life. He's been identified and labeled schizophrenic. You think he's too lazy, but I know you could get a job. Uncle Lester could get people jobs in Vegas for $14 an hour.
Anybody want a job at Costco, you can contact.
I mean, come on.
Seriously.
I mean, seriously, during the wintertime, you know, here in Arizona, anybody would kill to have a job pushing carts 40 hours a week for $12.50 an hour. Come on. You know?
Yeah.
Mad Dog wants a Costco job. Mad Dog wants a Costco job. Yeah. Seriously, you got
a Costco job too.
Yeah, and so does Curtis.
So does Curtis.
Curtis and Mad Dog both want a Costco job. You guys got to get in touch with each other. There's a lot of people who want Costco jobs, man. They're good pension plans and they're decent to their employees.
That is huge job.
Oh yeah. But another thing I was going to ask you, David, was last night. I don't know if it was an actual news source website that leaked this, but did you hear about one of the Ebola patients that passed away, just mysteriously coming back to life?
Oh, I
I've
heard that rumor.
Go ahead and send the link. Reanimation. If you've got the link, we want to see it. I've heard of reanimation, and it's coming out of some of the Christian sites. They talk about the reanimation of these people. I have yet to see any real proof of the reanimation of their bodies, but if we're dealing with a zombie apocalypse and an altered gene, a virus that is a new breed of...
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
That it could possibly be a potential zombie apocalypse.
It was a hoax,
You know,
yeah. Possibly a zombie apocalypse.
I don't listen to mainstream media bullcrap.
Right. Yeah. You know, I'm not as worried about Ebola as I was when I first heard about it. And after talking to some rational sources and hearing from the CDC that we really don't have that much to worry about it because it doesn't spread that fast, I was modestly lowered my stress level, but I still am concerned and I take absolute precaution. And even the CDC recommends that everybody take absolute precaution in dealing with this virus. Everybody.
Okay.
All right.
Well, here's the deal. Let me find that link real quick, and I will I'll post it to you. And if you see it. If you don't, then you know it is what it is.
Right. Exactly. Guest 877.
But I'll send that across to you real quick, and
okay.
See if you like what you see, and then you just make your own judgment on it.
We'll pick it apart here in the Conspiracy Hour. Thank you very much, Shrek. Okay. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for calling. Okay, that was Shrek, and he's got a link of the people being reanimated out of death into life. Okay. Jiminy Cricket.
Profit deal. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Ebola is like the boogeyman. I don't really believe it exists.
Ed came back.
In our country. What?
What? Ed, you came back.
Ed, you came back after we just laid into you for not wanting to work. You claim there's no jobs. You continue to claim there's no jobs, and we just had a person, Shrek. All right.
Okay, so what you missed is that Shrek in Von Live said that he can get you a job at the Costco nearest you.
Yeah, so what do you say about that? There's no Costco near Ed. Ed would have to drive to one of the major metropolitan areas and live in a crap hole or maybe on the street in order to get the Costco job.
And Abnormal will give you a job if you want a job.
How am I supposed to drive? Where am I supposed to drive?
Exactly. See, Ed's got a lot of excuses. I know all Ed's excuses. I can help Ed along here.
You guys can contact Shrek. He'll give you the information.
Ed lives in America 183, and he can't.
That want to work.
He can't even drive to a job. He can't even get a decent access to a full-time job because he's been put in a rural area in order to get a place to live. All right. Many of you who are desperately afraid of doing any work or ever working full-time.
I'm going to try to come on to Washington State to come.
I will. Avocados are too expensive, Concordia. I really don't want to get ripped off by avocado rip-off artists. Well, there's a lot of people hiring rewind videos. I mean, our country has a lot of temporary jobs. The employment rate is still fairly low, at least the one they publish, under 6.0 right now. I like rural areas, but you can't find a lot of work in rural areas. That is the logical conflict. It's a catch-22. If you go to a rural area, you're not going to get jobs. If you go to a metropolitan area and live in the middle of Disneyland, you can work cleaning up garbage at Disneyland. That's my point. Here's the link from hustlers.com. Some of these are religious channels that kind of want to make us fear that this person apparently has been reanimated. Breaking news, Ebola victim rises from the dead in Africa, fear of zombie apocalypse. Nice picture. Somehow that looks real. No, it looks artificially, it looks altered. The picture looks altered. That's a suspicious thing right there. The lip picture looks like it's been, no one has a lesion like that in their lip. Those kind of look like my teeth, don't they? Those teeth look just like mine. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, what? Okay, let's take a look here. Gonta, Liberia. Oh, it's a shapeshifter, yeah.
All right, and I am going to say goodnight.
Okay, cool.
I think
why don't you just hang out just for a little bit longer?
Okay.
And I'll pull this off the screen reader.
Will you leaving us, Sarah?
Yeah. Well, she wants to. Everyone wants to spend a little more time with you. Just Gap tooth for president. Yeah, thank you. All right, I'll talk about the reanimation video in just a second. I don't want Sarah to do anything bad with that. Okay.
I'm not doing anything bad with anything.
Well, I mean, it's scary to look at a picture like that. I'll take it off the screen for now.
David.
Bye. I die. Yes, go ahead. What's your question? David.
David, I don't mean to interrupt the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me, but Robert, check your IM, please.
Robert, check your IMs. You might be getting a guy looking for a job at local Costco. No, Sarah's not pretending to be a happy thing tonight. She's actually happy, believe it or not. This is all good. Our teeth are fine, you vain
I know, I just got my teeth worked on today.
I'll be right back, y'all, man.
I was so happy.
Right. Take it easy, man. We'll be around.
Just today I got my teeth worked on.
People pick on me all the time for having a gap in my tooth. And I went out of my way to go get artificial press-on veneers. And I'm still getting them refit. And I'm going to have a whole new look with a big smile and whatever. I don't really care.
I might get some braces.
Sarah might get braces. I might get a full mouth of press-on veneers. The whole thing might be completely all done professionally. Whatever. I don't really really care.
So while Ebola is happening, there's also, as I said earlier, this enterovirus, where there's been one confirmed death from the enterovirus. A 4-year-old died, New Jersey preschooler. And where do you make money? You need to were. Here, there, everywhere are all spelled H-E-R-E. Were is without an H. You had a car accident, so you had to get crowns, man. Yes, I think a lot of people will vote for us, for David. What are the symptoms of the virus? So with enterovirus, let's look up the symptoms. I think it starts as a bronchial infection. Enterovirus symptoms. The New Jersey boy, according to New York Daily News, a New Jersey boy who died of enterovirus showed no symptoms. It usually causes cold-like symptoms like coughing or runny nose. And it's usually a respiratory virus, but this particular boy showed no symptoms. He had another one, according to Bloomberg, the only symptom he showed, he had pink eye. I should look at this. I should really look at this. He showed symptoms only of pink eye before he died in his sleep. He was kept home from school by his mother on Wednesday because he was developing a little bit of pink eye. He was otherwise fine and had been in school last week. He's a triplet who has two sisters, and he just went to sleep and never woke up. He had no other symptoms whatsoever. This virus is in at least 43 states. It's put hundreds of children in the hospital with breathing difficulties and has caused paralysis in dozens more. The virus has been documented in deaths of 4 people in so far in the U.S. I just heard of 1, but 4 deaths.
4 deaths. Okay.
Based on testing by the CDC. It's not entirely clear what role the virus played in those deaths. A 10-year-old girl in Rhode Island died in late September.
Wow. How come we didn't hear about this? A 10-year-old girl died of Ebola in...
No, not Ebola, enterovirus.
Oh, entero, yeah. That's a serious disease affecting the Midwest. Right?
There are no special methods to treat or prevent this enterovirus D68. People should follow typical hand hygiene practices such as covering coughs, washing hands with warm water for at least 20 seconds several times a day.
Yes.
Stay home when you feel unwell.
Don't touch your face with your hands. Richard Einstein says it's all from illegal invaders. Thank you, Richard. I agree. Obama's been way too lax on the border, and we've got a real problem we have to address as soon as 2017 rolls around. But right now we have a little problem of our own. Getting press coverage, building a third party, getting beyond the point where we are just lemmings waiting to jump off the cliff. Guest 2900 suggests that you clean your butt really well. Thanks for that suggestion. With ideas like that, we got veritable geniuses here who could veritably change the course of history. Just use your brilliance and apply it to building a third party. What do you say?
Enteroviruses commonly circulate in summer and fall. We're currently in the middle of the enterovirus season, and infections are likely to decline later in the fall. The late part of fall is really like end of December.
Okay, that was a little ditty about Jack and Diane. Thanks there, John Cougar Mellencamp. David, I will vote for you if you have a shiny puff coat as vice president. Haven't made that decision. We've chosen Sarah as the vice presidential choice. So if you don't like Sarah, that's your problem. Sarah, your hair looks lovely tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in with great hair. It makes my night to see such beautiful brown hair in a woman.
Many of the children had asthma or history of wheezing.
I'm looking for it right now. I guess 7,500.
They had this virus has been detected in specimens from 4 patients. Investigations are ongoing. CDC will review and update available data every Wednesday.
Okay, so this is stuff that we know is true, and
this is from CDC.gov.
Yeah, this is from the horse's mouth.
Non-polio enterovirus.
This is from the contagious horse's mouth. Okay, Mad Dog, is that you? Yes, it is. He's funny. Okay, that's the link from the CDC.
Here, I'll give you the link. That's the information from the CDC. The link is cdc.gov/non-polio-enterovirus something.
What I want to see is...
are we coming to DC anytime soon? We're not traveling until possibly next summer.
Yeah, next summer is our
next summer we might travel. I would love to spend some time in DC, but I'm not sure how costly that would be and if I can afford it.
Who's Diane here? Is Diane here? Is that DT? I don't trust the CDC. Yeah, I don't trust the CDC.
Diane Truthful.
Repub. Oh my God. Wow. Repub. Are you guys?
He's asked if we're coming to DC sometime. He'd love to have lunch with us.
Oh, I can't dine with you right now. I'm afraid of getting Ebola at the restaurant. Hey man, what's going on? Thanks, Sarah, for participating in our show. You can leave.
I'll leave in 1 minute. Paul will give you the last 45 minutes of the show.
Okay. I can't eat at a restaurant, Repub. I don't trust the cooks could have Ebola and they could be salivating on the food. It's weird. Have you seen those extreme kitchen nightmares Chef Ramsay puts out? Where people, have the worst possible. They're gross. Horrible. Yeah. I can't eat at a restaurant. Yeah. Now maybe a buffet in DC, that'd be nice. America got so messed up when the American people wanted to be politically correct by voting for a black illegal alien who is also a Muslim and a homosexual.
We would probably spend more time in Vegas if we had the money. Las Vegas. We like that.
Yeah, I like Vegas. I'd like to have a big meeting up in like Christmas or something down at Mandalay Bay. I'd like to rent a banquet room there. I'm thinking that might be the best way to go. And then bring people from all around the country to come to Vegas. And let's just have a really big, massive cuddle party. Or some sort of a party, a hefty bag party, something like that.
Thank you, Kidney Thief. Good night, all.
Thank you, Sarah.
Good night, Sarah. Good night, Sarah.
Good night. Good night, Sarah. You guys love Sarah, and I'm glad that we all love Sarah. I love Sarah. Thanks, Rodney, for saying that. But yeah, she's really a special woman, and she has all the qualities of a woman that I needed in my life at a time when I was going through some pretty hard times when I met Sarah. I was in a situation where my parents were both pretty much dying.
Nah, Sarah.
And my parents were pretty much dying, and I was forced to be the only one in the family to look after my parents. I was the one out of many kids who stuck it out and took care of my mom and dad, and she was there at the right time to give me help. And I met her for that reason. Actually, I had no idea that she and I would fall in love. And I can tell you it's been an amazing 15 years I think we've known each other. 15 years at least. And I continue rediscovering why I chose Sarah in my life.
What's up, Edward?
You've been married 20 years? Excellent. Excellent. Nice going. So.
Oh, Mad Dog. Yeah, I hear you, Mad Dog.
I wish all of you can get lucky. Oh, I can open up about everything. I'm a totally honest person, and I want everyone to know that. I'm going to talk about my concern about Ebola being animated. You're not being muted. Okay, officials in Liberia have released the first confirmed image of a captured Ebola victim who rose from the dead. This is a still picture. That alone makes me wonder. It looks to me like it's been artificially worked on. The lip itself looks fake. Thank you, Charles. And I hope you all find someone who helps you through life as Sarah's helped me through life. Because I don't know if I could have made it through the loss of my parents 2 years after I met Sarah if I hadn't had Sarah in my life. Not just anybody, but Sarah. Okay, the link is here. You guys can pick it apart. Thanks, Shrek, for telling us about it. Here's the linky. I'm not muting you, man. I'm hearing you in the room, man. That's the link. Okay, the first reports of Ebola victims rising to the dead was reported by Liberia's national newspaper. Initially, officials from the World Health Organization fled in shock and horror as the Ebola patient suddenly rose from the dead. Now, are they citing any individuals that saw people rise from the dead? No. It's more of a statement about with Texas now infested with an unknown amount of Ebola. Nearby Kansas has declared a state of emergency. Kansas Governor Sam Brownback has declared October Zombie Awareness Month, and the state is on high alert for a zombie outbreak. Okay. Well, I don't know if I can take this article serious when they definitely quote a religious source, like I said, Isaiah 26:19-20 at the bottom, where it says, "Your dead shall live, their bodies shall rise." All right, well.
How do you do Skype the audio?
How do you do Skype on the audio? We're not Skyping on the audio. We're on JustCast right now. Yeah, the zombies already voted for Obama. So yeah, good point, Guest 7500. The zombie apocalypse occurred during the 2008 and 2012 election when 97% of the African-American population voted for Obama, which reeks of racism, by the way. And all the rest were Obama-tards who were so full of white guilt that they had to vote for a black president, not because they liked what he said, but because they would just not want to be called a racist if they voted for anyone else. I just said JustCast. Yeah, let me give you guys our JustCast link in case you want to cast on there. I think we can take a few more casters. And let's see.
Echo right now.
A lot of echo. Okay, let me tune out my echo here. There you go. That should be better. Michelle Obama is the next two-term president, you believe? Guest 759 believes that Michelle's going to run instead of Barack because there's such a huge support for Barack and all the horrible things he's done for our country. I can't believe people still support the guy. I mean, he's blown it with Obamacare. It's now 30% higher rates for people. Who are you talking about, Smoke Break? Who looks demon-possessed? Well, let's be clear. I never voted for Barack Obama clips, the Obama-copolypse. Yeah, I'm not a person who would support that. I started America's Third Party because I sensed that Barack Obama was the Prince of Darkness. And I sensed it at a guttural level. You know how you have intuitions and feelings in your gut? I knew in my gut that this guy was bad for this country. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. Well, you know, Michelle's very, very greedy, just like Barack. And I'm sure she could easily see the dollar signs if she did run.
Don't think Edward hears you.
Well, no, Ed's in his own little world. He doesn't want to work. We've established that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, seriously, the guy will say there's no jobs available in his area. He can't find a job. He can't get a car to go get a job. He just doesn't really want to work. I just wish he'd spit it out and say, yeah, you know, he just, well, I don't know about lazy. I think Ed would clean rooms if he was given sewer jobs. You're not going to do no sewer job. I understand.
Come on, Ed, get a job.
He's a proud guy. He doesn't want to do a sewer job. Okay. Then why did you do blackface? Isn't imitation the best form of flattery? Yeah, well, that's why I did blackface. It wasn't to flatter. It's called parody. It's called parody. You may want to look it up. It's a type of satire. Many of you who have your head in the sand and don't understand what I do and how I did it. Okay, I'll unmute Diane. Okay. She's unmuted. Diane's up. Mad Dog was cut back. He's playing the background music. We're live with Mad Dog coming out of the country part of America. And we got a Nazi finally who came into the room. And because I don't have any control over that.
Quick and head. He's got a swastika.
I heard that. All right. Because we can't control, I can block him.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't block him either. All right. I got rid of the feed. Thank you. 25 days till Blackface 2. David, has a local woman or person ever let her dog poo on your land? And did you involve sold a scene laws to protect your property and shoot her? Possibly shoot? 183, you're a sick puppy, man. You need serious mental help. Even your fantasy state sounds perverse beyond all comprehension. Yeah, you know, somebody in here is really in deep trouble with his mind. King Moron, however, sent us a great new look at the brown dwarf and a low mass star. We'll take a look at that. I can't unban all right now 877 because I got certain people I don't want in the room. But Ronnie says no blackface, Dave. Bad for Bez, Dave. Ronnie, I'm already down the blackface road. I've already done it because I needed to do a parody in the beginning of Barack Obama's career as a lying president. And now I need to do it toward the end of Barack Obama's career as a lying president. I mean, everything about Obama, including his record in college, is a lie. Look at this picture. Clearly a paste up. Clearly. I mean, no doubt about it. That is a pasted head on a picture. I mean, I could be anybody. I could be me. Seriously. It's ridiculous. Doesn't fit the body at all. All right, we've had enough of that fun. But seriously, it's total fake. Let me show you another one that looks like a conspiracy. The conspiracy says that Barack Obama was actually in the CIA. He was solicited when he was at Occidental College. And he was chosen to be president because they knew that they could control the masses with a black president. People would be afraid to question him. And that's exactly how it played out. Look at this fake picture. I mean, if this isn't the ultimate fake picture, I don't know what is. I mean, seriously. Look at how big his head is compared to the other people. It's just clearly fake. I mean, even I would look a little bit unorthodox there in that picture. For that matter, I could say I was head of the law. There's no evidence that Obama was head of the law review. And that could be me. I could have been Barack. I could have been Barack. See, those teeth are really going to help. Okay, good. All right, so clearly fake pictures put out there for us to believe are real. That's a part of the CIA's effort to correct what they had done. There was a guy that died of a reaction. He actually had an anaphylactic shock reaction, or no, actually, excuse me, he had a grand mal seizure. A guy who went out and found that Barack Obama had gone to Pakistan. I will list Obama's administration failures in just a second. Thank you. A guy had found out that Barack Obama had gone to Pakistan in 1981 under some sort of an Indonesian passport. And he brought that up in the election in 2008, and Barack Obama had to admit that he had gone to Pakistan in 1981. Well, it likely was a training mission, because back in 1978, when Barack Obama started school at Occidental College.
Hear me, Mad Dog?
I hear you, man. Basically, Occidental College was a center for the CIA recruitment operation.
Good.
I don't know why he's holding a wand. I don't get it. Maybe it's a large vibrator for all I know. All right, I'll unban all. All right, you convinced me. Thank you.
Being censored, Dave?
I'm not censoring anybody. I'm going to bring you in just a second. I just can't get rid of this guy with his picture. I can't block him out of here.
Okay.
I don't have control over the settings on this guy. If I could, I would. So I don't want a swastika in the picture. That's why I'm. Well, let's be clear. So I personally noticed when I was at the Career Center at Occidental College, the first thing you saw when you opened the door was the CIA is hiring. Seriously, looking for people who speak Indonesian, Farsi, or any other Middle Eastern dialect. Seriously. Okay, Topper, you're back in. Try to be nice this time. Okay, starting with Obama's failure. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hang up on you. Call me back again, Shrek. Sorry about that. Obama lied about no mandatory health insurance. So he went ahead and reversed that. And then he lied about wanting to release prisoners from Guantanamo. Could never do that either. Then he did the unthinkable. He actually gave everybody at the White House a raise right when every business in America was cutting salaries and cutting jobs. The private sector lost 40% of the jobs. Thank you. I know you're on, Shrek. They lost 40% of their workforce in the private sector. The federal government didn't downsize at all in 2009. That was a huge mistake. We waited till the sequester to cut 5% of our output, tax dollars going into the government. Now that we are cutting 5%, Obama's trimmed a little bit, but he's overspent $1.6 trillion every single year that he's been president up until the last 2 years, where he's overspent $1 trillion. His cabinet is falling apart because everybody knows it's a sinking ship. Okay, what's your question, Shrek? Go ahead.
Does it say where that picture was taken at?
This picture was a Harvard Law Review. It's a totally made-up picture. Barack Obama was never president of the Harvard Law Review, ever.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Topper Dan. We know that. We know it. We know that. We understand that the borders are veritable open sieves right now. But anyways, you can see that this is a pay stub, and the CIA was trying to give every bit of evidence they could, and part of their effort was to produce this fake picture of the Harvard Law Review and him being president. I'm going to show you a picture of a magazine that came out 1 year before they alleged that Barack Obama was president of the Harvard Law Review. That magazine was a GQ magazine. I happen to have about 10 copies of this, believe it or not. It's with Magic Johnson.
Can you do me a quick favor, David?
Sure.
Just real quick. Post that link that you are at and just stream or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah, coming up.
Because it's not letting me on for some reason.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Okay. Here's the deal. This magazine, which I have a copy of, has a big article called The Uncivil War at Harvard Law by John Sedgwick. The Uncivil War at Harvard Law. Now, you'd think this article, which deals with minorities working at the highest level in Harvard's faculty and in their student population, specifically dealt with Harvard Law. And this came out 1 year after Barack Obama allegedly was president of the Harvard Law Review. There's not one mention in this article about Barack Obama. And all the article was about was minorities at Harvard Law. So you do the math, folks. There's no validation that Barack Obama ever went to Harvard either. There's no validation that he ever got any degree at Columbia. There's no validation he was even an attorney. There's no validation of anything about Barack Obama. So to say and purport as a conspiracy theory that Barack Obama is a CIA agent is not that far-fetched. The only people that could make that happen and doctor all the records and shut down every single record would be the CIA or the NSA working for the CIA. It's all right there, everybody. Right there for you to see. You have been deceived. Does that bother you? All right. Apparently it's not enough to make anybody that concerned they're going to call their congressman and try to impeach this guy. So that's been the problem all along. We don't have political will to stop this nightmare train wreck from happening. Now, Topper Dan just told me in the room that we've got other people who want to talk about Obama's worst failures. Absolutely. I'm sure there's lots of sites we can look at. Thank you for that. Topper Dan just said that Obama has pretty much said he's going to open the border to illegal aliens completely. Am I claiming our government is infiltrated? I'm claiming there's a shadow government within our government. So I guess I am claiming there's some sort of an infiltration process going on. To think that our government is pure as virgin snow is absurd, especially considering they have literally allowed the Federal Reserve to borrow $20 trillion, give it to all their cronies on Wall Street and all the too big to fail companies, $20 trillion over the past 6 years, and not one American citizen got a penny. And you're wondering if the government's been infiltrated. That's pretty funny. It's been infiltrated for well over a century, Amish man, I agree with you. And we Americans have never been smart enough as voters, DQH magic, to become aware and enlightened voters enough to create a third party. The process of creating a third party is very difficult. I'll save that picture of chemtrails. Pretty good one. Okay, good. But we at America's Third Party have actually created a website. You're hearing? What's that? Is that TT Laura talking? Yeah. Yeah, we've created a website. Okay. Yeah, you have every right to be upset. Yeah.
We have issues all of us, and he shouldn't do that. It makes me mad.
Yeah. What can I do to help, DT Laura?
I don't like it. Makes me mad. I'm like that with everybody. It's not particular to you.
I understand, Topper Dan. Is after the November elections, he's planning on opening the border. Okay. Thank you, DT Laura, for expressing yourself. But we have a very cool website that's available on tablets. You can get it on desktop. It's resizable, mobile ready. And it can offer you at least a way to help us volunteer. You can pass out flyers, print out the page, put them on local university billboards.
We have a very cool website.
You can link to our site. But best of all, you can go down, scroll down the site, and you'll run into a list of states. And you can pick out your state right here. And every single one of these pages is different. And your state will have the election law to get on the ballot for 2012. We're still updating for 2016 because the election laws change 1 year before. So we're right around 2015, we'll update to 2016. But these election laws that were laid out in the 2008-2012 election are pretty much what they are today, with a few variations, slight variations. States change. But it's that hard to actually get a third party on the ballot. And that alone is a conspiracy. The way they've designed the minor party, major party status in the ballot election law, that alone is a conspiracy. I don't have to even go into detail to show you it's a conspiracy fact that they made it so hard for third parties.
Excuse me, guest 843. Why should I apologize? Apologize for what? What did I do?
Thanks, Ed. Ralph Nader has a lawsuit pending with the Democratic Party from 2004, unable to get on the ballot in 14 states. They blocked him. Elections should be free. And I shouldn't have had to pay $420 to get into my primary to have my sign stolen by the Democrats, Republicans, where they cheated to beat me in the primary. It should be a lot easier for a third party to grow. And it doesn't even have a chance. So it's up to you to figure this out. We've laid it out for you. On every page is the method. You contact the Secretary of State, you print out a petition to get me on the ballot, and you start getting signatures. We're going to make those petitions downloadable Google documents, so you'll be able to go to a Google document drive, just download it on any website. So we're going to make it really easy for you coming up. But if you just get 2 or 3 signatures from your family and email or mail it to us, snail mail it to us in an envelope, it'll cost you 47 cents and the cost of the print job. And you can get a free print at the library.
Do you understand anything, Ed?
Okay, Drag King, why are we going to a redneck rage page?
How can I be?
Yeah.
I can't understand what Dave Jonah is running his mouth.
Ed, I have you on. We hear you fine. Stealing signs is a legitimate campaign strategy. You're competing for the best locations and notoriety. So you think it's okay to steal signs in a nation dedicated to democracy, you freak? Or steal signs with laws that says you can't steal signs? It's a third. I can't even believe I'm having this conversation. You know, in some countries, they protect democracy. It's a criminal felony in Romania to steal election signs. But you're thinking it's part of the process for my signs to be stolen. You are a scumbag. You don't even deserve to call yourself an American. Regardless, even a republic doesn't allow people to steal signs, all right? And just because we strive to be a democracy doesn't mean we shouldn't be fair and give everybody a chance. Shrek offered Ed a free ride to get a job.
Excuse me, Mr. Sponheim.
Right.
I have an idea.
Thank you.
Signs.
Go ahead. What's your sense? I've done 1,767 shows, I believe.
Instead of putting your signs out where people can take them, try public places like the public library, the courthouse. If somebody takes them, at least it'll be seen.
Oh, I have, Ed. I put my signs right in front of the county courthouse. Oh yeah, they're completely taken down. Hugh, why can't you talk?
Put them inside the places.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to get as much line of sight traffic as you can.
No, don't put it in front. Put it inside.
No, 896. You know, had I raised enough money, I could have purchased billboards. And I'm planning on doing that in the upcoming election in 2016 for the U.S. House. But I'll be running a national campaign as a write-in candidate for president. Thanks, Ed. I'm going to mute you for a while. You interject too much. Constitutional republic means the republic acts in good faith of the people. Why the crap you think Obama wants to get rid of the Constitution? Hey, I understand, man. I never said that democracy is embedded in our Constitution. Mad Dog is too high. I never said that democracy, but I believe in democracy. I believe in Jeffersonian democracy, but I don't believe that 51% of this country should control 49%. I believe that we should have a supermajority, not a simple majority. A supermajority would be 66.7%. Is a supermajority. That would make a good democracy. That would be in the heart and spirit of what Jefferson envisioned for our country, a supermajority. I really care, Tossing Dave Salad, aka whatever your name is, Rodney. I care because you're the guy who came in here and said people don't care, David.
They're a bunch of idiots, Dave. All they're just sitting around. They won't even. Everyone knows that all these false flags are fake because they want to basically show.
And you said this.
That we're a bunch of stupid idiots.
And when we come in here and talk about how we need a democracy, how we need a third party, you tell me nobody gives a crap. Thanks, Rodney, for your little tidbit. So in other words, the elitists can fluoridate us, zap us with radio frequencies, turn us into zombies, allow illegal alien Africans to come into our country, and we don't even stop flights from Africa. Sabotage our economy, give $20 trillion away to Wall Street executives and too big to fail companies. And you want to tell me that we're not really doing anything. We don't really, a bunch of people don't even care. It's really funny. Wow. Just wow. I know. This is what I'm dealing with, 634. I'm dealing with all these haters and people that are are so solidly hooked up to the status quo and the establishment that they're probably on the take. Jesse Ventura, Night Cloud. I don't believe he's legitimate. For one, I don't think he can run for president in 2016. I believe that he's been living in Mexico surfing too long to actually qualify. You have to live in America for 14 consecutive years up until the run for presidency. Second of all, I think the guy's a shill, and he's clearly pissed off about not making a lot of money when that big story went viral about his financials. And then he won in court, and now he's looking at a lot more money. But it's clearly obvious Jesse Ventura is on the take. Period. Exactly. He surfs. He just hangs out and surfs. And he was a crappy governor. Thanks, Topper Dan. Trip to the universe. I leave my house all the time. I've held real jobs. I've been a news director. I've been a disc jockey. I've been a commercial producer. I've been an advertiser. I've done voiceover. I've banked my money, and I'm retired now, and I'm running for president. So deal with it. Just deal with it. I mean, you're trying to take my citizenship away from me, my right to run for president, trying to call me a racist when all I've done is done a parody in 2008 of Barack Obama to try to save this nation, to prevent this nation from falling into the hands, the clutches of an evil, lying, two-faced, homosexual, Muslim, illegal alien president. And you're trying to say I'm the bad guy. You're shooting the messenger. You're attacking the very messenger who's delivering the message and has delivered the message for 6 years, and you don't even want to hear it. You want to sit there and think that Obama's doing great, the economy's recovering, and the Democrats are just going to coast into the wonderful top position in 2016. You must be out of your mind. It's parody humor, and I have every right to do a parody of Barack Obama. I've never said a racial slur in my life. Okay, Amish fans said that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. This is a very interesting show. I played that last week, actually. There's a guy who's done there's a bunch of videos, actually, about the allegation that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. 100% proof. And they go out of their way to do these videos.
I'll be your captain for this afternoon, evening, or morning.
Okay, he'll be the captain. And he basically did a good job of showing the area where Alex Jones had a mark taken off his neck. See that mark right there? He spotted it right there with the ability of his digital photography in his house. A lot of people are becoming more and more adept at identifying fakes out there. And this sure does look legitimately like the Alex Jones that we know. That's Bill Hicks, by the way, in the background. And right here, actually right here, is the mole scar that he suggests in this video is also on his neck. You see the scar? He has a little mole on his neck. I have one too, actually. But yeah, I think I've got like a mole right somewhere around here. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, he goes on to talk about his teeth as well. It's pretty funny. It's entirely possible, too. I'll show you the teeth part. Yeah, those are both pictures of Bill Hicks and Alex Jones. And you can see their teeth are identical. So some people are doing a pretty good job of identifying fakes out there. Bill Hicks allegedly died of pancreatic cancer. He was in the 0.5% range at his age of dying of that. Very few people die at the young age of, 33? Bill Hicks died of pancreatic cancer. It's 0.5% death rate among that age category. Yeah. Well, they say that they just basically made Bill Hicks a really good deal because he was a great talker. I think it's entirely possible, yes. Well, pancreatic cancer is what got Steve Jobs. I believe it's what killed Michael Landon and that great actor who died of it as well. You know, the guy was in Ghost. I forget his name. Patrick Swayze. Yeah. It's a killer, but Alex Jones, or excuse me, Bill Hicks was very young to have died at that. Your brother-in-law died at 41 of that same thing. Guess 642. Yeah. Michael Landon, he died of pancreatic cancer. Yeah. You know, he was, you know, all these people, they say that Steve Jobs, this is on an opposite topic, but they say that Steve Jobs may very well have been killed. That's the conspiracy theory, that Steve Jobs was killed. You'd think a guy with his kind of money would have gotten the right kind of transplant operation. They say Larry Hagman was killed by his doctor. You know, Larry Hagman had a liver transplant and then it died because of the bad meds his doctor gave him. Hey, Rodney, guest 634. We're not going to take your calls ever anymore. I know, David, I'm sorry, but Ed and his excuses are, Ed doesn't have any excuses. He's basically a guy who will never work. He doesn't want to ever work. I believe that not working is a habit. And when these people get in the habit of not working, it's like they have to get past a little hump to get back in the swing of things and work again. I'm just telling you, I don't think Ed wants to work. He's never worked in his life. Yeah, I'm taking calls tonight, but not from you, Rodney. DT Laura's on. She's on. She's the only person left in JustCast. We can't really talk about why we've kept him off the show, other than to say that he's been demoralizing and degrading the show ever since he started calling 8 months ago. He was banned for demoralizing and degrading the show. That would be the best description. Yeah, you can run your Free Rodney campaign all you want. He's not coming back in the show ever. I'm not going back on my word at this time. No, 647. I've had it with this guy. No, seriously, man. Behavior modifications aren't going to cut it. He had every opportunity. I gave him strike 5. We gave him strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, strike 4, strike 5. And he still didn't want to change his behavior. He had a great opportunity to become part of something wonderful, but now it's just a distant memory of whoever he is. He's not anything to me. And as we grow and we reach out to the real legitimate callers and we get more and more callers, and believe me, I'll be getting a lot more callers, legitimate people in America who want to talk, because I'm one of the few people in the country that are doing this. He may like me, and even though he's not serious, constantly accusing me of being gay is sexual harassment. I am a 100% I'm a heterosexual man who really doesn't like the fact that people are harassing heterosexual men, calling them gay. It's just unbelievable. No, Rodney, you're not a great asset to the show. We want people, Americans, to call up, but we don't want people pretending to be different people and going. At one point, they're Vagine. Hi, David. How are you? Another time, it's, hey, Sarah. Hey, how are you? You know, I mean, and then,
hey, get a job.
You know, we don't need this stuff. It's disgusting to what we're doing. I didn't spend 6 years building this cast on a nightly basis to be demoralized and denigrated by somebody who's obviously off his rocker or something. Who knows? Well, let's be clear. Well, he will learn the hard way, because he had an opportunity to actually do a donation and become a part of our show. He didn't want to do anything. I do voices and impressions, but I did them professionally. I'm not a person who stands around pretending to be somebody online harassing people. I never would do that. I don't believe in calling people up and pranking them. I would never do what other people have done, calling up prostitutes in New York, setting up meetings just to get some airplay on the radio. I mean, it's disgusting. I think it's really, really rude that people do stuff like that. All right, it's still freedom of speech, which way you look at it. Absolutely. People can come in and you know, create their own show too. Yeah, well, if we had a vote to bring Rodney back right now, I can almost say if it was number 1 for Rodney and number 2 to keep him off, I would say number 2 to keep him off. If you guys want to vote number 1, that's your choice. 2. See, obviously the twos have it. Well, it looks like we got a split here. And how many of those people are actually Rodney? You want the redneck rampage campaign instead? Okay. Well, apparently some people are a little persistent with their multiple usernames. Amish Man wants him. Rub-a-Duck wants him. No, you don't. No. Let's no. Look at we only get one. Repub, you want Rodney? Okay, we only get one vote starting now. There's my one vote. There's your vote. Duly noted. Twos, Richard Einstein. I agree, Richard. Guest 638. Thank you. Ronnie, thank you. Pamela, thank you. Yeah, it's clearly preponderance of people do not want Rodney in the show. All right, thank you. But I will say there's a very close, even split. I will give him that much. I've given him 55 chances, 10 chances. I can't go back. Answer my phone. It is answering. Oh, sorry. It's available now. Go ahead. Let's just end the voting for Rodney because I do not want to get him back in the show. Robert, thank you. I want new people to call in. Robert. Hey, Shrek.
Hey, David. Real quick, I mean, I don't want to make this a show about Rodney or anything, but you obviously must have had a soft spot in your heart for him. And let me explain why.
Sure.
Because out of the, 6 years that you've been doing this, he was calling in all the time, just...
No, he only called in the past 8 months. I've done this 6 years. He's called in 8 months. He's only been in here for 8 months.
Okay, so here's the thing. How many times did you... How long did it take you to get tired of me before you banned me? Once or twice. That means you really didn't like me, which is cool. But you gave me like a third chance. But you gave this guy so many chances.
Yeah.
And he just kept
crapping on us, crapping on our show constantly, crapping all of our show. I've casted since 08. Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out to you and throw those out to all those people that want Rodney back. I mean, David obviously liked Rodney for a while.
Yeah.
But enough was enough. So.
Yeah. And, the shtick got old. He used the same jokes over and over again. And every joke was demoralizing and acting like he was bashing the show.
Correct.
I like Rod as a person. I wouldn't mind having a conversation with the guy, but when he comes in the show and constantly steers the show toward David, you're gay, or David, you're not on any ballot in any state election. Well, yeah, they basically cheated and knocked me off a ballot recently. But I mean, all these statements constantly trying to show that we are nothing and that we are clearly never going anywhere, which is the overwhelming opinion I've gotten from this guy. And that shows me that this guy is up to no good.
See, you have a lot of people that don't want this guy back in here. So.
Oh, yeah. Our Skype is Cool Rock Party Chargers, and our phone number is 707. Your ATP.
But all right, David, I'm getting off. You have a good night. You and Sarah have a good night.
You too, man. And I never disliked you. I just didn't understand you. I want you to know that. Okay. A lot of people misjudge everybody, and we oftentimes don't understand that person. And I think the more we talk, the more I get to know people, the more I realize I like parts of what they're doing, what they believe in. Are we all going to love each other 100% mindlessly, like a bunch of cult members? No, of course not. All right, well, we'll look at this. Not you are a TV, it's your ATP. That's cool. Our Skype name is Cool Rock Party. Our call-in number is 707 your ATP. I've given him 5 chances and there's no point. He'll keep going back to his go-to position. When's the show start, Dave?
Get a job, discount.
And of course, his I'll dive. High dive. He's got like 3 voices. And of course, era Ted Kennedy. And he's got the Ted Kennedy voice. But I mean, that's about it. I've got 500 voices. I've got a backlog of voices I don't even do. but that's not my shtick anymore. I'm not openly seeking voiceover work right now. I gave that up. The Sonar, yeah, there's Drew the Surfer dude. Yeah, he's okay. But I mean, come on. I mean, you get new material, seriously. Maybe if he got new material and he worked it out with some other rooms, maybe played it out at, you know, since he's stalking numerous people, I mean, visiting numerous people's rooms, he might as well work it out his material over there and then, you know, polish it and then come on in. This is how Johnny Carson handled everybody who came into his show. And we all know who became famous when they went into Johnny Carson's show. Yeah, I've got a backlog of voices. I don't even draw from the backlog. I'm an immensely entertaining and creative person, but I don't like to do that because this is a serious show, really, when you think about it. And even though I only have a couple minutes left to talk to all of you, well, let's be clear. Okay, we got Ryan. Ryan, somebody new calling in. Go ahead, Carl.
Hi, Dave. You know, I hope you leave the door open for Rodney to come back someday. And
you do? Okay.
I think he deserves another chance.
Okay. Well, that's nice. All right. Well, there's somebody, Ryan, step it up for Rodney. What do you like about our show apart from Rodney? Are you here for any other reason but to hear Rodney?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been a long-time listener. I just thought that Rodney would, you know, he certainly was out of line sometimes, but and he obviously made Sarah's pussy wet.
This is what I'm talking about. See, I mean, it's like the theme tonight is everybody and anybody's trying to stop a third party smoking Yodas, and we're talking Conspiracy Monday. Anybody and anybody is going to come in here and try to denigrate us, demoralize us, degrade Sarah. No, Rodney is not better at voices than David. I rock on voices, man. Rodney can't do anything. He can't do Reagan. He can't do Barack Obama. He doesn't do any of those voices. He doesn't even do a good Nixon. And he's so proud of his Nixon, it's terrible. We could have a voice off if this was a voiceover venue. But I have another website I'm developing to do voiceovers and to be competitive in that area if things don't happen in the next year. I've actually constructed a new website in which I'll probably be pursuing voiceover again in my life. After a hiatus of about 10 years, I could probably get back into it and start making the big bucks. But it's not something I really care about right now. Thanks, Real Pro. I don't know if it's true because I can't see the link. You need to become a member, 7881. Some people want to just, you know, take a big crap and then, you know, move on. I would have liked this entire show to be a good bowel movement. But I can't even create a third-party movement, let alone a good bowel movement. I would have liked to just said, hey, come on, let's just move on. Let's put it behind us, flush the toilet, and start anew. Wouldn't that be nice? But oh no. Now we got to continually go back to the same old garbage that we've had, and that's because this guy's been nesting in our room for 8 months, and I feel like we're all, you know, a bunch of bedwetters that have to reform our act because, you know, we need to start realizing you can sleep in a bed without going to the bathroom. That's for starting points. I mean, we have to start rethinking this. Behavior modification needs to go on. We can't allow our show to devolve into, hey, Dave, how are you? How's the lovely Sarah? That, you realize it's like a brain killer. It's like the end of thought itself. We need to start making this show happening, exciting, fun. So welcome to the new America's Third Party. Come on in tomorrow night. We'll be talking about freedom. Excuse me, truth. That's right, truth that you can believe in. All right, thank you for coming in and watching our show and participating. This CDC wants us to freak out. They've actually said so. You've got the enterovirus in America. They're telling people to be very concerned about touching their fingers to their mouth. Even the CDC director is saying take precautions, that this is serious. Okay, we got a video we want to play.
It's a pleasure to have you with us here on RT this morning. Talk about serving up your citizens' private information on a silver platter to another state. That's exactly what happened in a hush-hush deal between the US and Israel, and Washington didn't bother to clear key data from raw intelligence reports it shared with its partner. Paula Swear has more on this.
What we're talking about here is a top secret 5-page memorandum of understanding that lays out all the details of intelligence sharing between the NSA and its Israeli counterpart. What it does reveal is that the NSA routinely shared raw intelligence with Israel without first sifting this information to remove information that was inside relating to American citizens. It states that Israel is allowed to receive raw intelligence signal. It includes unevaluated and unminimized transcripts, gist, faxes, telex, voice and digital network intelligence, metadata, and content. And that is a quote. At the same time, the agreement places no legally binding limits on the use of the data by the Israelis. So while the memorandum does say that the material has to be handled in accordance with US law, and at the same time the Israelis have agreed not to deliberately target Americans who are identified in the data, there is no kind of legal obligation to back up these claims. In this respect, what it reads is that the agreement is not intended to create any legally enforceable rights. It is not an international agreement, and it is not legally binding. It also says that the Israelis were required to destroy upon recognition
Following video details the contents of the Department of Defense document entitled Internment and Resettlement Operations, also known as FM 3-39.40. The document is 325 pages long and is signed by Joyce E. Morrow, Administrative Assistant to the Secretary of the Army. It was created in 2010, however, it's just been recently leaked to the public via the internet and can now be downloaded from multiple sources. In the description below, you'll find a download link for the document. I strongly encourage you to download it yourself and to verify everything that's being said here. The document outlines military procedures for internment and resettlement of civilians, and it describes the layout and the administration of these internment camps. It clearly states on page 38 that it applies within U.S. territory, and it specifically addresses the detainment of U.S. citizens, as is indicated by the identification procedures for new prisoners on page 146, which states that social security numbers are to be recorded alongside their photograph and fingerprints. Included in the list of organizations which may be involved in these internment operations are the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, the Department of Defense, and the United Nations. On page 56, the document outlines the responsibilities of psychological operations officers within the camps, among which it states that a PSYOP officer develops and executes indoctrination programs to reduce or remove antagonistic attitudes and identifies political activists. On page 281, the document goes into more detail regarding the role of psychological operations within the camp, specifically in regards to pacifying the population and ensuring cooperation. On page 238, it gives the conditions for the use of deadly force in such camps. Among the justifications for lethal force, it includes to terminate an active escape attempt. That point right there should make it clear that these camps are not benevolent disaster relief type facilities. On page 244, the document calls for the use of snipers during riots to, quote, scan a crowd and identify agitators and riot leaders for apprehension and fire lethal rounds if warranted. On page 260, it shows the basic layout for a facility focusing on detainment. It is depicted with interrogation areas, tribunal areas, and mortuaries. Each detainment facility is designed to hold 4,000 prisoners, and they are depicted with multiple levels of barbed wire separating compartments within the facilities, with a double barbed wire fencing enclosing them and watched over by 24 guard towers. On page 261, the document depicts the layout for what they call civilian resettlement facilities, which are designed to house 8,000 people. Though it uses the word resettlement, the plans show multiple levels of barbed wire dividing the sections of the facility, with double barbed wire fencing on the outside, as well as 16 guard towers. On page 262, the layout for facilities designed for what they call non-compliant prisoners is shown. These camps are designed to hold up to 300 prisoners. They have 3 interrogation centers and are guarded by 13 guard towers. Now, if there's any question whether these plans are active or just theoretical, this should be settled by the fact that the U.S. Army has been running ads for job positions in these camps since 2009, and apparently they're still hiring. Once again, if you look in the description, you'll find all the links you need to verify this information. It's important to note here that this document was created in 2010, which was under the Obama administration. It predates the NDAA of 2012, which authorized military detainment of U.S. citizens. This clearly shows a long-term agenda at work. If you believe that this is important information for people to know about, then please share this video with as many people as you can. Share it on Facebook and on Twitter. Send it in emails to friends and family. Especially send it to anyone you know within the police and military. A smart strategy would be to download the PDF yourself and email it to people as an attachment with a link to this video so that they know how to navigate the document. If you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel, Storm Clouds Gathering, on YouTube. For bonus content, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Storm Clouds Gathering, on Twitter at Collapse Updates, and our website, stormcloudsgathering.com.
Yeah. Who owns the media? This is a question that has now come to the fore with a recent statement by Oliver Stone, who said that Jews dominate the media. Stone pointed out that because of this domination, public discourse on crucial issues that face our nation is being suppressed. But after intense pressure from the Jewish community, who act as America's thought police, Oliver Stone apologized and retracted his statement. But was Oliver Stone right, or was he wrong? I was raised as a Jew in an upper middle class synagogue, and we all knew who owned the media. In fact, we as Jews were proud of it. But now that I am a Christian, and now that I understand the power of the media to wield in its hands the weapons of Jewish propaganda, I can no longer be silent. I'm going to tell you who owns the media. I'm going to name names. I'm going to give you facts. 2 + 2 still equals 4. And until proven otherwise, I will never apologize. Let's start with CBS. Murray Rothstein owns CBS. He changed his name to Sumner Redstone. He did this so that people would think that he's a Gentile. He's not. Sumner Redstone is Jewish. Who owns NBC? Brian Roberts. Brian Roberts comes from a Jewish family that owns the Comcast Corporation. Brian Roberts appointed as the president of NBC a man by the name of Jeff Zucker. His name is not Jeff McGuire. Who owns ABC? Sidney Bass, who appointed as his president the Jewish man named Robert Iger. Now, who owns CNN? CNN is then owned by Edgar Bronfman. He's heir to the Seagram 7 whiskey fortune. Edgar also owns Time Magazine. He also owns Warner Brothers. He's also Jewish. Who owns Newsweek? The Meyer Graham family, Jewish family. Who owns the New York Times? The Salzberger family. And who owns the U.S. News and World Report? His name is Morton Zuckerman. His name is not Morton McGuire. With names like these, Oliver Stone hit the nail right on the head when he stated that Jews dominate the media and when he said that public discourse on crucial issues that face our nation is being suppressed. Issues like open immigration, issues like hate speech laws, issues like giving billions of dollars to Israel every year rather than to keep it here in the United States for our own domestic needs, issues that the Jewish community supports, is being voiced by the Jewish-dominated media. Ladies and gentlemen, as president of the Brother Nathaniel Foundation, we want to put an end to this. We want to support those media outlets that give us honest reporting and that present a balanced view of the news that they report. In other words, we want to take the weapons of propaganda out of the hands of Zionist Jews. If we can at least begin to do this, we will never apologize.
Let's turn to the nuclear security summit that's about to start. Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel has said he's not going to come amidst concerns that some of the Arab and Muslim countries, Egypt and Turkey in particular, were going to raise the worst kept secret in the world, that their weapons, and the fact that Israel is not a signatory to the non-proliferation treaty. Don't they have a point?
Well, part of the goal of the Nuclear Security Summit is to focus on the threat from nuclear terrorism. And we don't believe the threat from nuclear terrorism comes from states. Our biggest concern is that terrorists will get nuclear material. We fear North Korea and Iran because their behavior, as in the first case to North Korea being already having nuclear weapons and Iran seeking them, is that they are unpredictable. They have an attitude toward countries like Israel, like their other neighbors in the Gulf, that makes them a danger. So we are focusing on the two states, but we are also very concerned about nuclear material falling into terrorist hands. And that's a concern that we all share. So part of the challenge is to bring the world together, as President Obama is doing in the Nuclear Security Summit, to have everyone sign off on an agreed upon work plan that will enable us to begin to try to tie up these loose nukes and these loose nuclear materials to make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. And Israel will be represented by the Deputy Prime Minister, and we'll be at the table as we begin to try to figure out how to deal with this particular problem.
Is it a good thing because it would have made the summit into a sideshow?
Well, that's a decision for every government to make as to who comes and who doesn't come. So the point is the countries will be represented, and the overall goal of this nuclear security summit is to make progress. I have to say,
in 1999, Hillary Clinton was on the board of directors for the Lafarge Corporation, in which they oversaw the shipment of chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein. She's not mentioning that.
This is Dabu 7, March 23rd, 2014. I pay close attention to what's going to take place here within the next coming days. I always state that it's wise to keep an eye on the actions of these world powers, specifically right now, Israel, because they have done something that I think you should pay attention to, at least keep an eye on it, because it is highly suspect. For the first time in history, Israel closes all of its embassies and consulates worldwide. Now, they're giving the excuse that the foreign ministry members are complaining that they have not been getting paid enough, and I can tell you right now that's garbage, and that they're going on strike. So they're blaming this whole thing beginning today, March 23rd, on a big strike. I'm not buying it. At the same time, Israel vows to further destroy those who plan to carry out attacks against the Jewish state. This is the first and only country that I've seen or heard of thus far that has took any preparations against this missing Flight 370. Some say paranoid, some say connected. Well, I can tell you this much. If every single Israeli leaves their post worldwide, that isn't good. It's a sign.
No.
I don't know what they have up their sleeve. If they have an attack coming on another country, if they see something's about to break loose. But
No,
this
we're
is the
good.
perfect guise and the perfect excuse and reason to bring everybody home and get everybody out of every other country. They're doing it right now. I'll leave a link and I'll keep you guys updated. But I just wanted.
I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the joint staff. Who used to work for me. And one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you gotta come in. You gotta come in." And
You can take a shower.
I said, "We're too busy." He said, "No." He says,
Okay, hang on. I just want to close out of our hangout.
"We were going to war with